Numbing. Hello YouTube, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to Session 7 of Crystar, where last time we kind of sort of finished the first cycle. We didn't finish the game outright, because the whole point is that you keep on coming back and you learn more of the stories, you come back on the cycles, but we got the first one done. When we started the second, we saw an alternate version of the prologue, but now with a better understanding of what's going on, and then we was jumped straight back to Chapter 6, where we decided to wrap up for now. I haven't really done much off-screen. I did one run of like an optional ordeal, and that was about it, because we can't really advance the plot until we do the phone, and I didn't want to advance the plot just in case. So I don't know where we're going to notice more little changes. We're just at the start of Chapter 6, which so it's just after Ray's recovered from her breakdown and let go of Felmer. But before Sen learns that her mother is Nemesis, and that we learn that Yuri's here as well. Sen, is now a good time? Of course, not a problem. Actually, I was just going to call you. I'm glad. I just wanted to apologize. Oh, that. You already apologized. I said it's not a problem, and I meant it. You're not very skilled, and it's a dangerous place, but you persevere for your sister. That's your justice, right, Ray? While your approach is in need of refining, your intentions are splendid. Happy to hear that, but I wouldn't call what I'm doing justice. Justice is different for each person, regardless of what they think. Whatever guides their way of living, that is their justice. By watching my father, a prosecutor, I saw that his justice was following the laws and adhering to the rules. My mother, who died in that bus accident, didn't agree with my father's way of thinking. But I agree with my father. That's why I cannot forgive the revenants who break the rules and feast on the souls of purgatory. I have no reservations towards fighting alongside everyone else, because I know I am following my justice. Ray, believe in what you're doing for your sister. Make that your justice and pursue it. Thanks for saying that. I'd like to talk more, but it's my turn. I should go. Are you at the hospital? No, ramen shop. Oh, you were serious when you said you like ramen? Yeah, I like honing my willpower in high-stress situations. You did say ramen, right? I did. This place has huge portions, and the law here states you cannot leave any leftovers. A fierce battle with a mountainous opponent. This is how I hone my mental fortitude. The law, isn't that just a piece of paper on the wall? Whatever it may be, breaking the law goes against my justice. Now I must go. If I survive, I'll see you in purgatory. Yeah, good luck. Hello, yahoo! You've reached Nana's phone. It's Ray. I'm curious, does Purgatory have signal? And how do you charge your phone? Nana loves Ray, so I don't mind the surprise at all. That's not what I was... Anyway, what's up, Ray? Oh, I just wanted to thank you. When I made everyone go their separate ways, you brought us all back together. So thank you, Nana. It's okay, Nana should be the one thanking you. You accepted a revenant. But that was... I felt like I was trying to take advantage of you. Really? Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. But I think I had some ulterior motives. Well, I don't really remember you when I was alive. But the past is in the past. Nana is now is the real Nana. Nana loves you, Ray. I'm not sure why. But Nana thinks what's important is what Ray thinks of Nana. Nana, you're a revenant, but I think of you as my friend, from the bottom of my heart. In that case, Nana will keep helping with what's important to you, Ray. Fighting for a friend is so fun and exciting. Thank you. Ray, thank me again. If I can help Mirai, then Ray and Nana together will be super fun and exciting, right? Yeah. I'll be waiting for everyone in purgatory. Oh, new ordeal. I added a new ordeal. You may now pass beyond the middle layer of purgatory. Once you are ready, carry on, but let's not your guard down. Fanatic 2. Oh, I just thought it's called Fanatic 2. Does that mean it's going to be a new map? I'm going now, Felmer. I bring our little sister back home. Ooh, it may be. Maybe it will be a new map. Uh-oh. Well, Fanatic 2, let's go. Oh, right, I've got him in the alternate costumes. I was like, why is none of his clothes black? So I've got him in the alternate colours we unlocked for doing the first cycle. I was waiting for everyone. So this is what lies beyond the gate of folly. I don't know this area at all. We should be extra careful. I sense something. My sister came through here. It was recent. We need to hurry. You're right. Let's catch up. Yes. We'll show our strength to anything that gets in our way. Ray. I'm happy to see you again. Well. I'm pleased to see you are thriving. Ah, if it ain't the demon twins, here to annoy us? We shall not get in your way. We do desire for our executors to terminate more revenants. You call us demons, but we are the managers of Purgatory. Ahead lies the abyss of Purgatory. It is not too far from the soul purification device located at the end of Purgatory, the cogs of renewal. You are running out of time to achieve revival for your sister's soul. I will find Mirai before that, alongside everyone here. Oh my! What a radiant expression is displayed upon your face. You are so close to breaking. There's a new idea gathering up ahead. Idea is shiny, but I want a little more. Once you retrieve your sister's soul and gather seven idea, we shall grant your wish, Ray, and bestow revival on Mirai. In exchange, you'll give us all the idea. Yes, I know. Good then. We shall now depart. Entertain us again, okay, Ray? Fanatic 2. Yeah, I think this is a new map of this area. Which means my plan of like bursting through it. I mean, I at least appreciate the round 2s are slightly different. Like in actual level then. I wonder if the enemies are better too. Oh, these are Ortho Paramecilia. Their entire new like grouping. Okay, so yes. But I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you've all been having a fantastic time. I know we kind of jumped straight into the story before we really stopped for anything else, but I actually slept all right last night, so I'm full of beans, as we usually say it. So I'm actually more ready. Off screen, like you can see, I've got 110 SP on Sen now. Off screen, when I was like doing a little bit of grinding, I did take the opportunity to try and like go back through equipment, and one of the equipment bonuses I got for Sen was plus 10 SP. So that is what it is, which works out for her because of how much I use it. I am a fan of these alt colors though. I'll show you if I can. I don't think I can really zoom in. Ray has this really cool, like, blood red. Sen is pure white. Nana, it's got, like, this cool black and green going on. And I'm genuinely, like, as much as I'm not a big fan of orange as a colour, I think it looks kind of nice on Kokoro. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Oh, the flower's going to be new as well. Yeah, Ortho. Okay. So this is how they do it, huh? You just get Ortho everything. I'm wondering if on Luke 3 then there's going to be like Super Ortho, whatever. Ow. But they don't seem too different from the usual ones, to be fair. It pretty is just another like level up. But we'll find out what these ones called. Wilnet! So we got, so basically every enemy is going to have a new variant as well to pick up. Fantastic. Put myself here, then all the enemies have to kind of funnel up. So I can do that and catch loads of them. Yes! There's a dog yapping down the road. I don't know if the mic's picking that up. Sounds young. Doesn't sound like an old like woof woof woof. It just sounds like a yapper. Bless it. Oh, what was the other skill I've got? Yeah, we got... Alright, yeah, I was gonna say, I remember we got something else that isn't just the one-up power slash. I just got it costs a fortune to use it. No, actually, I'm gonna just do this. I don't want to deal with the Aporias. They're my least favorite enemy in the game by far. Nice. Anything else over here? Oh, I think... is this a dead end? Oh, I think that... Is this the one where the path converges? Because I'm trying to still figure out if this is actually, like, identical, or if it's slightly similar, or if it's, like, slightly different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's like, if the paths converge in the middle, maybe. But it could also be looking at the level does... Oh, no. This pokes out too much. I'm going to go back the other way. I'm sure there'll be someone who knows way more about this game. They'll be like, oh, actually, the level design's identical. Or, oh, actually, no, it's actually completely different. Can't you tell? And I'm like, no, I can't. This is only my biggest gripe with this game is the level design and how samey it all starts to feel. I just really enjoy the characters and I enjoy where the story's going, so I'm sticking through. And I genuinely don't mind the gameplay. As much as I critique some parts of it, I genuinely don't mind the gameplay as a whole. I just know it could be more, and it's what I'm looking forward to in Crime Machina. Because if Crime Machina can just make the gameplay, it doesn't have to be like groundbreaking, but if Crime Machina can just have a bit better gameplay and more consistently interesting level design, it will be really good. And like, because the storytelling, they've already got the storytelling on point, I feel. I know like their stories aren't perfect, and there's a lot of holes in them. But I enjoy Caligula and I enjoy this story, so I know like Furyu can make a story enjoyable. It's just a matter of getting everything else to fill in that gap. Oh, is this going to be the correct path after all? It's going to go up and around? Of course it fucking does. God damn it. And I know what's going to be. It's that traditional mistake. I'm going to go back and it's going to be like one thin corridor that wasn't there. I am curious though, since these are alternate variants. Yeah, I'm getting pensive thoughts instead. I was going to say, like, if I'm getting alternate things. Oh, never mind, it links up. So it did both link paths, okay. Alpha plus is Alpha plus. Why is the plus there? Was that on the other enemies or did I just not notice? Oh, I just thought we're gonna have to fight, potentially have to fight, like the not Legion again. The Burbos or whatever. I wonder if there'll be a different version now as well. Yeah, because they're not pluses. It's just these guys have the plus on them. Interesting. Hey, Nana's level 41. My long-range difficulty turn off. Ow. I'm trying to remember, like, Chapter 6, it was the Burbos, right? It was like, Chapter 7 was the whole thing with Yuri. I'm trying to remember what boss was what chapter. So I know, like, the Doge was Chapter 5. But obviously we don't do Chapter 5. Like, the first 5 chapters relatively easy for me to remember. It's chapter 6 onwards. You know, the ones that we've done more recently that I'm like, what was it we were doing? I don't like the one that reads a girl's shape is. That's a little concerning. Fucking these ranged bitches. Trying to build up SP again. And let's get hey. If I ever designed an action game, I'd probably end up making a pretty bad one, or like a pretty uncreative one, because I would just not put in any ranged enemies. Unless you have a really snappy, on-point ranged option yourself, I just wouldn't. Yahoo! Nana came in first! I don't understand how you're so energetic. Seriously, how are you so bouncy? It's just a pain getting near. Even the spectres are stronger. Yeah, the revenants are especially troublesome. You guys are so gloomy. Why aren't you as well? Because we're all here together. It's like a field trip. You only have $300 of snacks. That's way too much money. You could buy a wedding cake. See, look, tummy person is needed in times like this. The best comedies always have a straight man. Well, like I've said, we both have our stomachs out. True, but when Nanana transforms into Epicurus, it gets covered up. Well, it's not getting covered up. It's more like... No, never mind. Huh? What is it, Ray? It's nothing. We're in purgatory and I still haven't achieved my goal. But I'm having a little fun. Fun is a good thing. I don't want to agree with her, but Nanana might have a point. Being tense is really taxing. Relaxation is important, but we must remain vigilant about our enemies when we rest. Yeah. Let's go. That was a good break. Anyway, other way we're going. Okay, so there's still some bits, because also we've seen that scene before. So just like, it might actually even be the same maps, but oh well. New enemies, which means new opportunities for upgrades, so I will still go through it normally. Ow. Hey. Get the fuck out of here. Orphan McGuire. Although there's no guarantees, it just depends how the day goes, because it is still pretty warm today. Which is supposed to be the last day for it, by the way, but I'll get to that in a minute. I do want to try and get the whole second loop done today, so I won't be hanging around as much. If it doesn't happen, whatever, but hopefully we will. But the reason why I said, like, starting tomorrow is that, according to the weather, and it'd be nice if it was right, because it was wrong about that fucking thunderstorm, starting tomorrow, it's going to be raining for, like, 6 days straight, so it's going to get way cooler, so it'll be easier for me to stream. It's a bit annoying that it lines up with me going back to bloody work, so my streams have to be a little shorter anyway, but it will be less, like, achy and tiring and sweaty for me. But I honestly haven't been minding that. I know, like, it's pretty a little like, oh, really? Only 3 hours, like, with you guys? But I honestly, at least for me, I've been kind of enjoying doing the 3 hours. I love doing the longer streams on every now and again, but when it's 3 hours, I still have time in the day, even during, like, my week, like, this week off sort of thing. I have plenty of time in the day to just kind of do other things, work on other things, get scripts ready, yada yada. You know what I mean? I have time to have things go in place and things get ready. Get out of here. The enemies are doing more damage, even like these grabby guys. They used to do 1 damage per hit, and now they're doing enough to put me in the danger zone. I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll swap Ray out. Sen out, sorry. I'm swapping Ray in. But if you weren't with us yesterday, because you're not that much of a Resident Evil fan, don't worry, we finished RE6 yesterday, so next week we will have a different weekend game, because I also am really liking having this, you know, a game for the weekdays, game for the weekend approach. And I know what I'm going to be doing next weekend. My intention is to try out Nelke, a different type of Atelier game. Which means I have to make another playlist. I like having the playlist per saga, so for it, I'll just put it as, like, spin-off. So if they ever do, like, more spin-offs of that layer that will come to console, I'll put it in that. But we'll see. I can see from the mini-map's, like, enemy marking that there's, a huge corridor up the middle here. If I go back. Up here. And I think one was a Revenant, so I'll have to go get that as well. But the general intention is once this is done, I know I was kind of umming and ahhing and debating doing a poll and all that other stuff, but I probably will do Trails from Zero. I don't know if I'll do the whole game, it entirely depends. Firstly, whether I enjoy it, but I also know there's a lot of darker material in it that we'll see. You know, we'll see. If it's going to be vicious and, like, really unkind and just kind of, like, not the sort of stuff I want to really have on my channel too focusedly, then we'll have to solve that when we get to it. Because I am aware that Trails from Zero gets pretty dang dark in places. I mean, I say that, I play horror games, but horror games you know what you're getting into. When it's like, you know, an anime-esque RPG, it's like, oh, by the way, it has an extremely morbidly dark final chapter, then it's a little bit more like, okay. Like, there's some games that I'd love to cover that I deliberately choose not to because I know that, like, some of their subject matter would be a little too much for what I want on my channel. I know most of you would be fine. In fact, I imagine all of you would probably be fine, but it's still not something I would like on it. Like, Amori, for example, I do enjoy that game from the bits I played of it, but I don't know if it's a stream game because of some of its subject matter. You know, I think that's like a, ugh. Even if that game never officially released in the UK, because fucking, for some reason that's a thing. I still got to play it a little bit because PS4s and PS5s are not region locked. Nice. I'm trying to be wary to not just burn potions as much, because like the game is starting to get a little, not like tougher, but it's like enemies are hitting a bit harder sort of thing. So it's like when the characters are kind of low, but they haven't hit that mark to like auto use the potion. I don't want to turn the auto off, because that's when I will just let characters die by accident. But when they're low-ish and they haven't triggered it, just swapping them off to let someone else take the fight. So we're using them less often. Because only when everyone else is low, then it's like, okay, we'll just use one, I guess. Well, I also have to be careful, because as we learned, I think it was either last stream or the stream before, if an enemy hits you hard enough to just kill you, they won't trigger the auto potion, they just die. A loud vehicle passes by. Oh, this is the last area if you couldn't tell by the lack of warp. How are we doing on... Oh, we've only got 5. Interesting. Ow! Oh, Senland Shadow Blade Halo. Oh, that sounds terrifying. Let me clear out the room and then we'll find out what that is. Hang on. Oh, and then that goes hunts and it goes and hunts enemies. That's actually kind of sick. It is just another replacement of a previous skill. I feel kind of bad for Sen because she's only got 2 original skills. Everything else is an expansion of what came before. And it's like, come on, like, Sen deserves better than just something to do with ranged blades and something to do with slashes. I mean, even with Ray, it's kind of between these two, it's kind of debatable. Bright Slash is just a stronger power slash, really. But it's different enough and has a big enough, like, cost on it that I mind keeping it separate. Ooh, yeah, there's no enemies here, so you know it's a cutscene. No enemies on an open floor usually means cutscene. My master. Heraclitus, what's wrong? Something more vile than darkness. The emotions of the Revenant are whirling up ahead. Does that mean there's a group of Revenants? Hmm? I am merely stating my observations. If you are to continue, maintain a strong self-consciousness. That's it? Can you give me any more specific advice? What was that, Ray? Well, Heraclitus warned me about Revenants, but he didn't go into details. Like me, maybe it's not a good talker. A warning? Good talker? What? Sen, what about your guardian? Is it more talkative? No, my guardian Socrates doesn't talk. Huh? Neither does my Diogenes. Huh? Huh? What? Guardians don't talk? The demons say guardians are the embodiment of their master's soul, so they wouldn't have their own consciousness. Heraclitus has talked in front of you all at least a few times. We didn't hear the guardian's voice. No, I thought Ray was talking to herself. I never mentioned anything because teenagers can be a little, you know. Thanks for nothing. But if your guardian is self-aware and can talk, Heraclitus must be a special being. I'm not sure about that. All I know is it warned us that there are dangerous revenants up ahead. Let's just be careful. Because we still haven't answered that either. We never got an answer for why Heraclitus talks and seems to have its own conscience. Oh, this thing's not dead. Oh, that was actually kind of nice, but it just kind of tracks you down. It's expensive, though. Yeah, but I like that skill. It'll be very handy in bosses to just kind of like just drop something in any point of the map and know it's going to hit its target. Oh, God damn it. I'm like, which path's the right... the wrong path? So I'm going to take that first. Ow. Hey, get here, you bitch. I already hit the fence, but it's okay. I had to get rid of grabby hand before he got too close and started just eating me alive. Okay, this is the dead end. Good. Ow, 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 get off me, fucking get, this is what I mean! They do way more damage now than they used to. What the fuck? They used to do 1 damage. Maybe we talked about how they're just annoyances and do no damage, but now they're annoyances and they do fucking damage. Get the fuck out of there with that shit. Oh, is this the... Yep. It is the gang in this chapter. More? Wow, there's so many. It's going to be troublesome. Don't worry, we'll get them all. There are a lot, but they look like normal revenants. But what are they doing? Give souls. Gather souls. Send souls. Dark souls. Oh, all for our master. This is creepy. I don't like horror stories. What are you talking about? Doesn't matter. If they're revenants and gathering souls, there's only one thing we need to do. What should we do, Ray? It's dangerous to jump in there. Let's watch for a little longer. We can't just watch forever. Huh? Something's wrong. Souls here. Souls for our master. Soul steal. Sorry, gather. My brethren. More of them? They noticed us. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. I know. Anyway. Judgment for the heretics. Punishment for the non-believers. All for who we worship. To fulfill our master's wish. They're coming. Oh, they are still Borbakis. Oh, I was hoping they'd be more, like, original. Because, you know, new loot. At least we know it'll be an easy boss on the other end then. When it's like all of them share the life bar and the health bar just fucking vanishes after a few seconds. I think this will catch most, if not all of them. Oh, okay, the one right on the side it misses, but whatever. Oh, it's just off angle, so it's gonna miss the one on the end. Oh well. I'm trying to see if there's anything up there that we just don't get. It's probably just the level exit piece. I apologize for not fulfilling. What was up with those guys? The abyss seems to go further on. Let's return to the real world for now. Okay, no, we'll be waiting here. We'll be back soon. I'm gonna set up camp. Yay, campfire! Just a little longer, Mirai. It's now a good time? Yes, it is. What is it, Sen? Ray, what you said before about the bus accident a year ago. You said you lost your friend. Is that the same incident I was involved in? Yeah. Sorry, considering he was on that bus, I shouldn't have brought it up in front of you, Sen. No, it's okay. If anything, I was just surprised that indirectly you were involved in the accident. I'm sure it might be hard, but would you tell me about your friend? Anything related to the incident. As the lone survivor, I want to know as much as possible about it. Okay. Yuri Minano, that was her name. Yuri and I went to the same middle school and met in the first year. I was always alone in class, but she reached out to me. She was pretty, mature, and always calm. People thought she was cold, but she was actually just lonely. She was kind and more considerate than anyone else. She was my best friend. I wish I could have graduated with her. I'm sorry for asking you to talk about this. It's fine. May I ask you something too? The incident took Yuri's life. Was there anything strange that happened? I wish I could answer, but... Was a girl my age making a phone call? Sorry, I don't remember much about right before or after the accident. I just remembered that my mother was sitting next to me. The next thing I remember is being rescued. The hospital said my memory loss was due to the trauma of the incident. I see. Is there something that's bothering you? Around the time right after the accident, I got a phone call from Yuri. Maybe she wanted to hear her best friend before the last time. If so, that would be comforting. After I asked you all those questions, I'm sorry I couldn't be of any help to you. No, it's alright. I don't think I can fill her place, but if you want to talk, I'm here for you. Thank you very much, then. Well then, I'll see you again in Purgatory. Sprout. Oh, that's a different mission. That's a different mission from what we were just doing. I'm trying to see if there's any differences. But we got a revenant of a little girl who liked the colour red. The girl wanted red, the most vibrant and exciting colour, so she cut up paint bottles. Pets, friends, family, paint bottles all held the colour red. She thought it was beautiful. Oh, okay, that took a fucking turn. He was a lonely puppeteer. He loved the shape of little... Oh, Jesus Christ. He spent his life trying to create the most ideal girl puppet, but gave up and killed himself. Okay. He loved the shape of a girl. He loved it as a form of art, and he was willing to give his life for his love. Oh, I can show what I've actually got on everyone. I've got Crystal Ego and Just Feeling, Reason to Live and Death Endpoint, True Mystery and Quasera Stance, and Enjoyed Moment and another Quasera Stance. Just in case you're wondering what people have. Oh, I might be able to make an Enjoyed Moment free. Hang on. Yes. Okay, Sarah. That's how it feels. There we go. Sorry, give me a second. I was waiting for it to stop so I could say it, but someone's like cutting their grass out front and I don't want the mic to pick it up, so I've got to close the window. Back in a minute. Alright, there. But it also now it's just put a very strict time limit on this stream, because now I've got the windows closed, it's just going to get even warmer. But we'll try and carry on. Anyway, seemingly entirely new level. Sprout. Let's go. Yahoo! I was waiting a long time. Were you okay alone? Of course. No, it's not a child. Sure, you're actually a kid. Definitely a child. Hey, you two, don't judge a revenant by her looks. It ain't just the looks we're talking about. It's based off your behaviour. Excuse me. Tell them, Ray, none of them's an adult, right? I'll be nice. Oh, you're an adult. See, Ray knows. She said that with no emotion. I don't care which, let's get going. Oh. Look who's back. Back again. What do you want this time? I thought we ought to warn you. If something happens to Ray, I'd be so sad. A warning. Beware the Revenant Princess. The Revenant Princess is close by. It's not Nemesis, we know this. Wait, you mean... The Revenant Princess. Nana's heard the Revenants talking about it. No matter how badly you want souls, don't mess with the Revenant Princess. Kokoro? There's no doubt it has to be her. Princess my ass. Nemesis, if you're close by, bring it on. I'll settle this right now with my own hands. The Revenant Princess. That name, I've heard it before, but when? Oh, is Sen finally like starting to catch on to the loop? I think she is. I think she's clocking onto the loop. Oh, Broken Fort humor. I didn't realize we were so low on them. I mean, because it's going to be more emotionally struck with her, because it's like the Revenant Princess is what led to the confusion surrounding Nemesis and her mother. But we know the Revenant Princess isn't Nemesis. Nemesis is, you know, Sen's mother who got here a year ago. The Revenant Princess is Kuon. Ow, ow, get off me. I'm gonna let that rip. It didn't seem to catch as much that time. Maybe it's because the enemy it was locked onto was the one I was right in front of. It's supposed to be more ranged. Ow, ow, fucking get it. Let me out, let me out, let me out. It's a fucking piece of shit. As soon as I hear, because it sounds like there's gardening going on, as soon as like I can't hear it anymore, I'm going to be opening my windows again, so we might have to pause again in a second. Or in like a while, just so then I can open it, because I don't want to cook in this room if I can help it. I've got my door open, so I'm the only one in. It's just when someone gets back in, I'll have to close my door as well, so then I really will be trapped in the heat box for as long as the gardening carries on. I'm not going to like bitch about it. I mean, it's the last warm day we're supposed to get according to the weather. Of course people are going to try and do the gardening on their last chance. Heck, my own mother said that she's going to today, so it's like I know it's going to be one of those days sort of thing. It's just annoying that my mic picks it up. I wish my sometimes there's things like this where I wish like my office was on the front of the house so I can hear the neighbors doing their front lawn, you know? But I digress, it is what it is. So every time I say that now, I always think of that fucking cyberpunk meme. The you're running out of is what it is. Are you sure you wish to continue? It's like the best thing to come out of cyberpunk. Literally for like in terms of entertainment and for CD Projekt Red was Edge Runners because it was a great anime. Oh, it's a powered up one. Hi. Hi. Galter in this. Get back here. I was trying to deal with the mage builds over here. Fucking, hang on. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Oh, right, that's that weirdo. It's a girl shape. Right, that's the one I don't like. Got it. I wonder if we'll get, like, optional ordeal round 2, considering there's different enemies here. For, like, chapter 6 once we're done. And I also think it's fitting that Sen's the one that's first to notice it, because she's probably the most logical. So if something seems like it's familiar to her, it's gonna bother her more. Whilst the others might just think it's like, oh, it's just weird deja vu moments, whatever. You know? Like, she's the one that actually takes me and go, hang on a minute, I feel like I've heard this before. Why do I feel like I've heard this before? Trying to round him up. Ooh, another one. Saiga. It's supposed to be like tiger, but missing the T. Or is it pronounced entirely different, I wonder? Right, really, this floor was kind of linear though. Look, it's just a complete straight and it just kind of expands out a little bit down here. I don't know if this one's similar or the same of the previous one. It might be the same. And it's just another instance of like, because the title's different, it's telling me that's because the story's starting to diverge from this point. Whilst like the previous one having a 2 on it was just trying to show like, yeah, like we're still following the motions a little bit there. I'm trying not to just use Nanana on everything, alright? I'm trying to, like, diversify. I mean, well, Kokoro's like, diversify? What the fuck do you mean? Use me, then! Like, no. No, diversify, but with good characters. And it's a shame, because I like Kokoro in as a character, I just think she plays the worst. Like, the other 3 are fine, it's just, she sucks. No, no, as soon as one comes, it's like, no, 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 get me the fuck out of here. If there's like Ortho Beta and Ortho Gamma variants of those enemies, we might be in trouble. Because they might start getting a little murderous. They might start taking lives. Where's the warp? The warp's way over there. I want to get some SP back with Ray. Oh, that fucking misses. That's such a missed opportunity. You should be able to launch them up and go into charge slash. You probably can, you probably just have to time it a bit slower. Oh, this is this. Got it. Okay. Ow. Oh, you bitch. I thought I got like the first slash off. I was hoping when the slash started it would like override anything else. It does not. No, it will interrupt you regardless because these enemies couldn't be more annoying if they tried. Oh, you bitch. I think I dodged into it. Hey, hey, fucking stop that. And that's going to curl back around to this, right? Oh, and another Revenant up top. Awesome. I think we're getting less SP for hitting... Oh, no, that's plot. We're getting less SP for hitting enemies than we used to. I feel like our SP like would fire back up super quick, and now it just kind of doesn't. But I swear we got more than 2 points per hit originally. Or 2 to 3. Oh, Kofu learned Execution Zone. Ooh. "18 stakes with a launch effect." So it's just an upgrade to this, right? Ooh, it's got good range though. Doesn't do much damage though. Oh, to be fair, Kokoro builds up SP pretty quick. So it might also just be to do with character strength, because she has more of an oomph. She gets like 5 points per hit. Okay, it's only range. It doesn't do close. Got it. Why would I expect something from Kokoro's moveset to be really good, huh? Sorry, Kokoro, it's not your fault. You're a great character. It's just the designers kind of decided you're going to be the close quarters character, and then didn't really think any further than that. It felt like when designing your kit. Nah, that's rude for me to say. It's just it's not as good as it could be. Alright, let's go back to plot, because it's obviously plot. More souls for our master. Them again. They're so creepy. Well, they're serving someone, fanatically so. Normally, souls which become revenants have a strong self-consciousness and don't act with other revenants. Maybe while they were alive, they were really reliant on other people. Oh, so that's why they're being used even after death. Newest soul. Give your body your soul in order for our master's revival. Oh, I don't think it's going to catch one in the end. I think that's just barely out of reach. I wish they wouldn't try and space out so much. I don't know, keep them together, please. Fucking bitch. Hey, have this. Yeah, it's not so fun. It's not so fun, is it, you fuck? It's not so fun, huh? Punk. Master Nemesis. See, they're wagging their tails for Nemesis. Like Arashi. Kokoro. Nemesis, that revenant must be very charismatic. She's not special, she's just an egotistical scumbag revenant. She's also Sen's mum, so ooh. Oh, Rei's actually kind of weak, never mind. Oh, that's a dead end. I was more looking at the minimap than I was actually what was in front of me. I wonder if those other Alseers, because we got that big yellow one, will be different colours as well, like the ideas. Or whether like they'll all be that and it's just more the ideas that change. Oh, we're not. Oh, we're 1 point short. I was like, yeah, we'll have enough by then. Of course not. Oh, that was a waste. Oh god, the map's huge. Oh no. How many of these we got? 7. Ow. Fucker, get. Hey, hang on. I'll come back for you. Hey, you. Oi, get in. Fuck you. Worst enemy in the game. Hi, guys. So they were expecting me to come from that direction, huh? Which means it probably loops round. So they expect you to approach from there, so I'll probably go that way first to just kind of like clean up more dead ends of the map. Oh, we're trying to see if there's an obvious dead end. But no. Hang on. Hey, you. Get out of here. I just gotta meet, like, these grabby guys with pure fucking aggression every time, because, come on. I just gotta meet them with nothing but pure, like, viciousness, because otherwise they will just bully me. Of course! Fuck me. Get in there. They all just kind of slowly floated out of the way of it, come on. Oh, of 1 point short again, of course. I appreciate that the enemies don't aggro until you're in the room, so you can threat assess a little bit, because now that's basically what I'm doing. I'm like, is one of those mage pricks in here? Yep, okay, go for him. Plot? Yep. Sis. Oh, right, this is the split path. Got it. We never came back to see if we could go with the other path. I was going to, but it never happened. What is it, Ray? A voice. A voice? I didn't hear anything. Me neither. I'd expect it's yapping. But I'm sure. I wonder if none of us are still going to follow us, or if it'll be a different party member, because that would be interesting. Big sis. Mirai? There's no doubt it was Mirai. Wait, Ray, it's too dangerous to go by yourself. Oh, it's gonna be Sen this time. Yo, okay, yay. That's actually kind of cool. Because Nana went, no, wait, Ray. But now it's Sen. Went, no, wait, Ray. So on the third loop, it'll probably be Kokoro. Damn it, Kokoro, Nana. I was surprised, but things are okay over here. Kokoro, you okay too? We're fine. We're completely split. Ray, you on that side? Yeah, sorry, I got carried away. It's not your fault, Ray. Well, kinda, but it's okay. You were just unlucky. Ray, Sen will help you search for Mirai. We'll look for a way to meet up with you. Okay, be careful. Sen, it's too bad. It's too bad I can't stay with you, but can't be helped. I'm leaving Ray to you. She's doing her flirt again. I know. I'll protect Ray in the name of justice. It's alright. I've got best girl with me. Fuck yeah, let's go. That's actually cool. I like that. I'm actually a fan of that. See, the path does continue that way. Edgar Allan Poe? What are you fucking doing here? I'm sorry I got a good night's sleep. My jokes aren't funny. Like, that's the worst part. I'm turning into one of those like dad joke people. I really am, because I make shitty jokes and I laugh at them. I'm like, I make the joke and I just feel stupid. But I'm like, what? Oh, god dang it. You know? I don't even have a kid. You watch if I ever meet someone and have a kid, like the dad joke reckoning will be coming. It will awaken in me like a demonic fire. Oh, there's... Whoops. Mirai! Big sis! That's right, it's me. I'm glad. She's your sister, Ray. Finally found you. Wanted to see you. And apologize. What's wrong, big sis? It's not like you look so desperate. I'm sorry, Mirai. I should have protected you as your big sister. But I hurt you, and all this happened. All this? Oh, yeah, I was surprised when you stabbed me, but I knew that my dear sister would save me no matter what. Mirai, I'll forgive you for the pain. As payback, you're gonna let me pinch your cheeks as much as I want, okay? You better be ready. Yeah, I'll save you. Let's go home together soon. Big sis, I was wondering, who is that? You mean me? I am Sen Megumiba. I'm Rei's ally. Ally? Like a friend? It depends on how you define friend. Why do you ask? Because if you're my sister's friend, you're important to me too. So nice to meet you, Sen. Likewise, but we should save the greetings for later. Hold my hand, Mirai. I won't ever... She's so persistent. Big sis, I love you. I believe that you'll save me. Mirai! Why? Oh. And the Nemesis, they meet earlier, so Sen might realize who she is earlier. I was planning on letting her escape. It's a hassle. Whatever should I do? What? How? Female Revenant? Is this the one? Nemesis! Such bad manners. Did your parents not raise you well? Answer me! Why did you drag Mirai and me into purgatory? Why did you keep going after Mirai? Let's see. I suppose I could answer you, but explaining it in full would be difficult. Did you know that all souls of the dead are flawed? You could say part of their memories are missing. Same goes for me, the most important person, the one who I absolutely can't forget. I've lost a memory of that person. What does that have to do with you attacking us? Well, it has everything to do with it, seeing how this is my revenge. Revenge? What are you saying? What did we do to you? My bond with that person was taken from me. One whose name I cannot remember that bond. I will be taking the same thing from you. I don't know anything about that. I could just tell you, but it'd be more fun to put on a show instead. I am the main protagonist, and the plot is revenge and rebirth. The happy ending is getting revenge, achieving revival, and returning to my dearest person. A happy ending? Taking so many souls, you hurt Kokoro. Well, of course, right? I am the protagonist of this story. I don't care how many souls are sacrificed. I'll obtain my happy ending. It's too selfish. Oh, how is it any different from what you're doing? That's... You can't answer that, right? Could it be that you realized it long ago? No. Oh, so you're pretending you haven't noticed. You're good at deceiving yourself. Deceiving your heart, averting your eyes from your own deeds so you can hunt down souls? Or for your own wish? No, I'm not... It's not any different. You and I are the same, dolls driven purely by their egos. Rei, don't be fooled. Her words are nothing but selfish justifications. Hey, you. What were you going to do? Hold on to the person you cherish the most with blood-stained hands? Stop. Hey, stop. Please don't say any more. Alright, that's it. Socrates! Who are you? Why did you get in the way? Rei is my friend. Could it be? No. Yes, because if this happens earlier, it gives Sen more time to process it, and now because she's seen Nemesis be a bastard, she might be less likely to want to defend her even if it is her mother. Are you Sen? I remember telling you my name. How do you know me? Rei, Nemesis fell back. Rei, take your sword. Don't get in the way. Grace Guardian. Heraclitus, if you have your own will, reveal yourself to save your master. My master, you may be covering your ears, but we are connected through your soul, so you can hear me. Heraclitus, I'm called for you, so why did you come? Socrates' master called for me. Sen? She's fighting by herself right now, in order to protect my master, who has lost all hope. Your self-consciousness has faltered due to your enemy's words. But it's exactly as Nemesis said. I just like the Revenants. I'm just like the Revenants. My only motivation is my horrible ego. And I've realized my own hypocrisy. I knew it and only pretended not to notice. In order to save Mirai, in order to fight, I pretended not to know. It was pathetic acting. And what is wrong with that? What is wrong with acting? The ego is the self-consciousness. The ego makes the person. Acting is a way to maintain one's ego. If you realize your true feelings, that is all for this. That all of this is your sister. If that is your idea, you just need to keep acting. Keep acting. It will not be easy. It means no matter what truth is revealed to you, you must have an unwavering will. So you're telling me to continue on with my ego? That's right, especially if that ego is not for yourself, but for someone who is dear to you. Someone dear. For Mirai. Correct. Well done, my master. You usually don't say much, but you talk a lot when you lecture me. Unfortunately, that is the truth, though I believe this will be the last time. I will do what you told me, thank you. I'm sorry, Sen. I'm okay now. You're back. Nemesis is probably going after Mirai. Just clear out these guys first. I can rely on you, right? Yes. Oh, I don't need the map for this. That's cool. They did take a different road. Like, the path's finally starting to, like, really evidently split. All we needed was for Sen to bump into Nemesis earlier. Which I was hoping for. The split second Sen was with us instead, I was like, fuck yeah, she's got to bump into Nemesis earlier. So that will hopefully lead to a different path in the later chapters. Well, I imagine the levels are going to be the same, it's just the story beats are going to be changing. But that's genuinely appreciated. That's a nice change. It's not just Nanana being Nanana anymore, it's actually, you know, someone who's going to advance the plot coming with us. No offense, Nanana. I do kind of wish we had Nanana with us though, just when it comes to the Bourbakis, just so we can clear them out from a nice distance. Also, is that the last? Yeah, that's our 10th. We've learned that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end anymore. So I have to be careful. We have missed loot though, unfortunately. Oh, it is the end. We have missed loot. There's another enemy back there? What? Look at the minimap. What do you mean? How did I miss that? That's all of them. She shouldn't be too far ahead. We're going to go after them. Ray, are you okay? Mirai is waiting. This is my room? One recorded message. You collapsed, so I took you back to the real world. You must have been fatigued from that continuous fighting. I understand why you're impatient, but you need to rest. Eat something that will give you energy. I can recommend you a ramen shop. Love you, Sen. Kokoro hasn't contacted me yet. Nanano either. Piece of truth. Oh, new crystal ego, nice. Oh, okay. I was like, what's the trade-off? No, I prefer True Mystery, thanks very much. Do I have boost physical attack? That'd be nice. Physical defense. No. Oh, okay, well, I had to check. I was like, that'd be nice for Sen. I'm trying to see if it says where it says like we Sen and I went deeper. Yeah, Sen called me out to stop. At the same time, something happened in poetry. Next thing I knew, Sen and I were split from the others. Nemesis ruined everything. She was trapped in a caged room. She could no longer cut things open with the red colour, so she cut her own wrists, and that's how she died. Okay, so she went insane and got put in some kind of solitary confinement. The reverend of a man who was self-proclaimed musician. His creation was too extreme, and his music was never accepted by anyone. He needed something alive. His first attempt was to capture something living. As data, he needed sample some voices. Screaming, yelling, and crying were needed for his art. He thought that true sound came from the moment life was taken. So he killed people, got it. Female Revenant wants to be revived for her lover. She needed revival no matter what. She left her lover in the real world. They'd made a promise. They vowed to spend eternity together. He said he loved her. Death was not going to keep them apart. And for you, the weird puppeteer, his dolls received a worldwide acclaim. Their beauty was popular with both men and women, but he himself was not satisfied. A man who was regarded as a genius artist, when he was told of his terminal illness, he spent the rest of his life for his art. With the death being imminent, he worked fast. Originally, he was not a fast worker. Knowing he would die soon, he wanted to create his best work. His life was on the line, and he made a masterpiece. Oh, it's a new version of Bourbaki. Interesting. Bourbaki have no individuality. For Bourbaki, their precious life means nothing. In order for Bourbaki to work, they need a target to worship. They create their ego with all the individuals wanting one thing. Bourbakis always pick a target for worship, however they always change who their target is. Bourbaki blindly believe in one person in order to establish a self, however they search for a worthier target to worship. That's interesting. So how many glossaries got? 42 of 99, we're not even halfway. We'll save again before we head out. You're here. Are you sure you don't need more rest? I've rested enough thanks to you and Heraclitus. I'm glad I could help. If something happened to you, I wouldn't be able to look Kokoro and Nanano in the eyes. That's an exaggeration. No, both of them have strong feelings for you, Rei. They might even kill me. I think that's a little... Obviously I'm kidding. What? I'm surprised. I didn't think of you as the joking type, Sen. How stern do you think I am? I'm just an ordinary high school girl. I go shopping with friends during sales. I play card games with my cousins on New Year's. That's so surprising. I have feelings too, you know. It's just that I can't picture how you normally act. Sen, I don't know how to say it, but you seem so noble. That is what I strive to be. However, I'm not perfect. Which is why I so strongly admire justice. If I cannot see what I strive for, I may lose my way. You and I are alike, Rei. Without that thing to drive us, we wouldn't be able to continue to fight in this cruel world. Nanana too, and though it may not be justice, Kokoro's revenge as well. I understand. My desire to save my sister will not change. I'll continue to fight. Good. I'm always here for you if you want to talk, as long as it's about anything besides romance. She's like, okay, that's not my forte. Fucking, you're on your own. Jesus, okay, I didn't mean to do that. You tap left, it goes all the way to the end. But we're good, thanks, peddler. It's like saying you've got our only decent range attacks, so you're going to be kind of working like... working a little harder than normal this time. I mean, we've got ranged attacks with Rei, it's this. But it's not quite the same. And we've also got the tornado, but the tornado isn't ranged, it's more mid-range. It's nice that it moves a little bit, so it's a little, like, more damaging and effective, but still. But this does mean that Rei being the highest level is just going to super continue. Because now Nanana's, like, not the second highest... well, it's going to be slightly less the second highest level because we've got someone else in the party. And then on the third one, probably it'll be Kokoro. I am curious what will happen when it's Kokoro bumping into Nemesis, just those two. If she'll go like super on the aggressive and not try to help Rei whatsoever. Like, what will be the difference? Because none of that didn't really know what to do other than just try to protect us. Sen went on the fucking offensive immediately, but was also smart enough to realise, wait a minute, isn't Heraclitus self-aware? Can I use this to my advantage? Which is actually just kind of smart. And of course, with, you know, scaring Nemesis off because it's Sen. Which also means when we get to Nemesis at the end, it won't be just... Because when we get to Nemesis at the end of this chapter, she's kind of the boss fight, but then she runs when Sen arrives. But now she already is like has to process that Sen's here, so she might not even fight us. What was this one? This one we don't have. Yeah, this is Edgar Allan Poe. Got it. Also, I'm trying to remember what souls we have and haven't got. It's kind of hard when all the enemies are like the same, but just have different like symbols next to them. And I'm like, have I got this variant Revenant yet? Have I got that variant? It's only going to be one of those things. When I go for 100%, like after I've done the free playthroughs and whatnot, I will probably just have a guide. There is a guide because I already looked, so I'll just have the guide up that tells you where each soul is and where to get them. Hang on 1 second. There we are, I'm back. I've swapped it around, I told you, as soon as I can't hear it anymore, I was going to open the windows again. And thus it has been done. This way? Wait, oh, there is a left path. I was trying to look at the meme, I was like, it looks like it's a dead end, there's only one way. No. Fucking range bitches. I'm missing Nanana. I miss just bullying them back. Oh, that's probably the right way to go. As soon as I looked at them, I was like, oh, I can see where the warp is. That's probably the right way to go. Let's go this way. But yeah, as I was saying before I vanished for a second, like, I am genuinely really curious how this end chapter piece is going to go when we bump into Nemesis. When, you know, when are the other party members going to join in? How's the fight going to go? You know, like, which turn is it going to take? Because, you know, Sen's with us. Like, we kind of know how it will go when Kokoro's with us. It would just be hyper-violence. But, you know? I just hope this ending doesn't end in Kokoro and Sen at each other's throats, and Sen comes to terms with what's going on, because that was the thing that made her drive to such a dangerous, impulsive decision, is that she was put on the spot. But if she realizes earlier, hopefully it'll give her time to talk to the others about it, or maybe she'll realize it alongside someone else, so they force her to talk about it. Like, maybe she'll realize it, or Nemesis will mention it whilst Ray's here, so then we catch on more. That would be nice. Have I got enough for Tornado? Yeah, it's 30. I was like, it's not 40. 40's the Super Slash. Really send leveled up. Oh, 42. I went to press R2 and circle, and I was like, that's the wrong character. That's this one, and she needs 40 SP. Because I was going to say, like, oh, they're all kind of lined up. I can just do this. Do we have enough Wilmots? I can't remember. This is what I mean, it's like it's kind of hard to figure it out sometimes. It's like what we do and don't have because the enemies are so similar. They're not enough radically different. I'm going to take it anyway, obviously, but I'm like, I can't remember. The only one I need to make a point to not get everything on the way is when we actually, assuming we still do, when we fight Nemesis in Chapter 8. Because then I can actually start trying to get the soul piece. I mean, it's impossible for you to miss any trophy, apparently. So I assume you can just get it in that boss rush, or if not, once you beat the game, all versions of all levels are available, so you can just get whatever you need. Like, each loop's version of Chapter 6, 7, and 8 will become available. I have no idea on any of that, but according to the guide, there's no missable trophies. Even petting the dog apparently isn't missable, so I'm like, okay. I don't know about the dog one. The dog one feels like, no, that's just turbo, you missed your chance. But we'll see. To be fair, I don't know if the pet the dog is actually pet the dog or if it's just interact with the Thelma button. Because if it is, then you can get it even though the dog's dead. You know? As horrible as that sounds, it's like I can still get the trophy then in that sense. Oh, that loops back to here, okay. Oh, I keep on saying it, but it's worth repeating. Because of how, like, repetitive the map design is, I spend more time, especially after that first visit to Chapter 7, where it's so dark anyway, I spend more time looking at the minimap than I do actually the screen. It's like I'm a bloody, 360 generation Call of Duty player, where you spend more time glancing at your minimap than you do actually looking at what's in front of you sometimes. You become so reliant on that thing for information. I said it was more of a Halo thing, actually. I'll take that back. It was more of a Halo thing of making sure you knew something was going on around you. But still, that's kind of how I feel. Speaking of COD, I'm still waiting for my Modern Warfare 3 remastered. I don't care about the new Modern Warfare 3 at all. God, this floor's big. I'm not that fussed about the reboot. I enjoyed Reboot Part 1, but that was kind of like it. I haven't touched out Reboot Part 2, and I'm not in any rush to. I did say I would eventually, but if it's going to be at any point, it will be after Modern Warfare 3 Remastered, assuming that still happens. We have no idea what's going on with that. I was hoping, you know, this time last year it'd only be a couple months out, but then here we are. But it has felt like, and it will be felt in Modern Warfare 3 when I eventually do get to it, like a classic Modern Warfare 3 I mean. I do feel, and I feel quite strongly about this, even though I love MW2 as well for what it is, that every Modern Warfare story got ever so slightly worse than the last, including the reboots. Like Modern Warfare Reboot Part 2 looks a little worse off. Obviously I can't say too much because I haven't played it, but if everything I've seen, it looks a little worse off than Part 1. And it's like, please don't continue this trend, Part 3, I'm begging you. Because if you keep on trending this trend, eventually it's going to get super bad. Nothing will ever get, like, ghost bad, but it's going to start getting there eventually if they're not careful. Let's get some rest. You're a step slower ever since you collapsed in the previous battle. You're overestimating my skills. I've always been this slow. Ever since I was young, I was never the athletic type. Not only that, I hated anything athletic. It's rare to meet someone with so much resentment towards exercising. Like, for example, what's up with marathons? Why do they even need to run? It's not like someone's chasing you. If you want to go far, you can take the train or the taxi. With the advancements in technology, running is just so inefficient. In the real world, I lose my breath from running after a few seconds. Could it be that you're not eating properly? That's... I'll be honest. That might be it. Mirai was in charge of what I ate. I would leave the meat on the plate and she'd always scold me about I only ate potatoes. You only eat potatoes? I eat other things too, mostly potatoes though. Is this some kind of punishment that you put on yourself? Some sort of self-imposed penance? It's just what I like. What do you do now? I look at Mirai's recipes. My success rate is dreadfully low. If you like, let's get a meal together when we go back. I'll show you a spot that serves ramen with whole potatoes. Once everything is over, we can invite Kokoro too. It's a shame we can't invite Nanana. You're right. Once everything is over, I think it's time to end our break. Potato ramen. I'm looking forward to it. Aww. Like, Sen's more of the big sister type than Kokoro is. This is just looking out for Rei and just making sure she's okay. Ow! Oh, we're out of biscoaties. We had 10 at the start of this stream, I'm sure we did. I mean, the only saving grace, the only, like, silver lining I can give those magicians is that because there's a trophy for using, I think it was using 100 healing items, they made sure I got that trophy. Because I probably wasn't otherwise. I might have eventually with, like, the damage dealing causing, like, the food items they get used. But you know what I mean, like, the amount of status conditions they've caused that I've had to heal off. Oh, it's not a dead end. We're going further and further away from the warp, though. This is a dead end, and we have no loot. Okay, thanks, game. We got hit. Oh, another Edgar. Okay, now I think we're pretty full on Edgars. I think. Okay, I'm glad I did that. The amount of poor people here, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play it safe. Ow. Oh, there's still another one? Oh, come on. I thought I got them all. I looked away for a second because I thought I had them all. I don't think there was a path up on that previous screen. I don't know why, like... No, there wasn't, okay. Like, in the back of my head, I was like, I feel like I missed a path back there. Hey, you. Oi. Damn it. I'm running out of all my extra healing items. I'm gonna have to restock next shop we see. These guys are around way more than they used to be, annoyingly. And the thing is, like, when I'm going for the platinum, doing the soul grind, like trying to get all the revenant souls and whatnot, will help anyway, because there's a trophy for hitting level 99, and like we're in the second loop, so we've got technically like 6 chapters left after this, if you count like the third loop, 4 chapters, and the 2 chapters we've got after this. And we're level 44, and it's like we're I guess in terms of like chapter size, we've got 8 chapters behind us, and we've got 6 in front. We're a little past halfway. We might be like level 60 something by the time we finish at this rate, but that's still a bit of grinding we're gonna have to do. But also, when I'm grinding in post game, it'll be easier because I'll just turn the game to easy. Damn it. So enemies have way less health, which, considering we're level grinding anyway, would just be really generous and helpful. God dang it. Hey. Hey, you. Get out of here. Like, the little plant guys can be a little annoying as well, but they don't cause status conditions. You know, they just kind of pepper you. Okay, that links around to that. Ooh, another one. I think we've got enough Gargantus as is, but oh god, get me out of here. The creepy grabby hands are here again. Hey, why are you running away from me? Oi, get the fuck back here. Level 9. Okay, so we're near the end then. I hope. I'm hoping that like that one example of it breaking off it was the one and not the norm. Because that'd be scary if there's suddenly gonna be like 11 and 12 per level as average. That's gonna be really annoying, especially for 100%. Because then I have to like kind of pick and choose what ones to go for. I don't want to do that if I can help it. I mean, when I'm going for 100% on the guide, I'll just be tracking down the very specific ones I'm after, so it'll probably be easier. But still. God, I need to deal with the magic. Fucking, I hate these enemies. Like, both of them triggered a heal. God damn you. Oh, I just realised we're level 45, so I'm going to quickly check if I picked up a new skill and just didn't realise, but no luck. It'd be nice if we got a new skill and it was like the upgrade to the tornado, but now the tornado like hits full screen and lasts forever. Or it specifically targets it. If you could make it so the tornado spawns on the enemy you lock onto, that would be fantastic. That would be a good upgrade. Oh, that's a sweet chocolate anyway, so that was a waste. Oh well. It was nice to top the party up. They were suffering a little. I'm sitting there like, man, I was hoping you'd get through this whole loop pretty quick. I forgot, chapter 6 is still, it's not long, it's like 3 hours. But it is a bit longer. The reason why we got through it so quick last time is because there's only like one real mission in chapter 8. And so we only had to do 4 levels. So we'll see. I'll definitely start chapter 7 this time. Because I'm still cautious of that heat, because I'm already sweating a little bit. I've opened my windows again, and I've got the fan on, but it's bring on the rain tomorrow. I probably will stream more tomorrow. Like, I'm undecided for certain, and obviously, like, there'll be a community tab if I decide against it in the end. Because I am back to work Monday, so there is a small part of me that kind of wants to make tomorrow a rest day before I'm back to work. But I will let you guys know. I'll put it in the community tab when I wake up in the morning how I feel. Because currently I'm up for it, but it's also like when I wake up in the morning, I might be like, it's my last rest. You know, I kind of want to just chill. I've been writing more on my book as well, so I kind of want to spend some more time doing that whilst I still got the rest day. Because that's the only thing that kind of sucks in my current work schedule. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying working more in the sense of I've got more money to make sure I'm on top of everything. But it is also a small part of me. It's like, man, I want to be writing, and I just don't get the time between streaming sometimes, and like I finish streaming and I have to start getting ready for work. So this week off, like after I'm done streaming, I've had plenty of more time to not only do like my writing for my book, but also like get script ideas together, or like get some research in for like if I want to do more reviews, because I do want to try and lean into doing that more often. We have enough Edgars. I'm not going to pick that up just because I'm paranoid that there will be a unique-ish boss at the end that we might need more. So that's our 10th, then you know, I'm just kind of like, Oh, no, come away. Oh, she doesn't even have any. Well, okay, we got it then. I was trying to see if I could pick up the extras without picking up it, but the magnet range is huge. We're right at the warp, so maybe that will work out. And if it ends up being just another Bourbon, or whatever it's fucking called, it doesn't matter. Because we've already got that maxed out. Okay, there isn't one here. I mean, we're probably fine. It probably was just because Chapter 8's like a super big level that they decided to just go ass through it and go over. I wonder if we'll get another alternate colour after the second cycle, or whether it's just a first cycle victory. So I'd be curious to see what other alternates we can get. If we don't, then the third run will be the one where we mess around with alternate costumes a lot. Oh, thank goodness, a restock. God, both of these are stat lowering ones. I don't want to touch the other ones. No, just go straight for the jugular. There we go. All right, let's do our run in with Nemesis, but this time with Sen in hand. Oh, so you chased me all the way here, Rei Hatada and Sen Megumiba. How do you know my name? Did Kyosuke Tomasu tell you? Kyosuke Tomasu? Who's that? Don't play dumb. You're both revenants. You have to be connected. I don't know that revenant. Then how do you know? You may not believe me in my current state. Honestly, I had forgotten myself until I saw you. What are you trying to say? You trying to make me hesitate, like you did with Ray? Sen, that's enough talking with you. Ray Hitada, don't you want to ask me something? Where is Mirai? All these questions I can't answer. I do not know where Mirai Hitada is wandering right now. Does that mean Mirai is safe? Oh, you're going to believe me? How naive. If you knew where Mirai was, you'd go straight after her. Yes, that's right. I need to find Mirai Hitada to fulfill my revenge. So I don't have time to waste on you. You think we'll let you go? I'll stop you here if you plan to harm Mirai. I figured. I didn't think you'd just let me go. Fine, let's play for a bit. She was gonna. I think Nemesis has cottoned on the parental difference, or that it has remembered who she is. Jesus Christ, Nemesis, you're not doing so hard. Just beating the crap out of you. Oh, of course it's out of range. Yeah, thanks, game. God damn you. Of course it's out of range. Oh, or even that would be max damage. This is rather violent for playtime. Let me show you girls how adults do things. What? Ray! Run away now, Sen. That goes against my justice. What's this? Nemesis' memory? Oh, yep. Are you sure you don't want to go with Seshiro? Father is okay without me being around. Oh, in other words, you're saying I can't be left alone? I worry for you more than Father. I'm sorry. You admire your father so much. My goal is to reach Father's justice. I can continue to strive for it without him being nearby. For me, the person I want to walk alongside is you, Mother. Thank you, Sen. I really appreciate that. But if something happens to our family, it is my role as your mother to protect you. Please remember that. Yep, and now she knows. Wait, what was that? Why do you have that memory? Because it's a memory precious to me. That's a lie. When I fell into purgatory, I vowed to get revenge and become the revenant Nemesis. This lost memory. I recovered it when I saw your face. Sorry for how things ended. Sen, my daughter. What? Finally found you, Nemesis. You destroyed my family. You took my baby. Complete my revenge. Diogenes. This is it. What the? I'm sorry. What do you mean, Sen? Get out of my way. Nemesis is right there. She destroyed the people dear to me. I heard what happened to you, Kokoro. I understand your need to get revenge. Good, then step aside. I know you can't accept this, but please fall back for now, Kokoro. Move now, Sen. What's going on? I'm really sorry. Think an apology will stop me? Worship Nemesis. Take Master Nemesis to a safe place. So now they'll have to talk about it because she gets taken away. Nemesis! Why? Why? Better late than never. Nanana has arrived. Kokoro, you're too fast. You left poor Nanana behind. What's going on? Things are all gloomy. Ray's okay. No. Hooray! I mean, hooray! Hurry! Hooray! Hurry! We're sorry, my revenant. Where's Nemesis? She escaped because someone got in the way. Everyone, we'll talk later. All the revenants are coming. Joining together as demanded by Master Nemesis. We're many in one. Our name is Bourbaki. The revenants are really creepy. Here they come. Oh, God, she didn't do that much damage to us. She didn't do that much damage. If we got into the fight and Sen was at like at 1 HP, that would have been kind of mean, but kind of funny. Oh, these ones don't have a glowing version anyway, so 10 is the limit of this level then, huh? Okay. Fucking I end these enemies. Ow! I'm gonna keep to our main two that we had for this chapter. I don't like these enemies are spaced out so much, it's really annoying. I want them to be grouped up together so I can make sure the ult hits multiple of them. But the thing is, because this I'm glad this confrontation happened now, because they didn't kill each other, because everyone else was there to stop them. When it was just those two, no one stopped them from letting their rage out on each other. Whilst now it's early, we have, 2 chapters of getting these two to, stop their bullshit. One did drop a spike, it doesn't matter. Cleanup complete. What happened while I was passed out? I don't know, ask her. Please give me some time to put this into words. You got in my way, and now you need some time alone. I'm sorry. That's all you've been saying. Saying no matters what an apology can fix. You know how much I've... Oh no, it's falling! I'll give up. I'll lose everything to get revenge for my baby. That's why I fight. Kokoro-sen. As we get to Mirai, the farther apart we become. Chapter 7. Irony of Justice. Oh, because she hesitates it on her justice. Got it. So it's going to be her, it's going to be the focus. Optional Ordeal 2. Okay. Aww. I skipped it again by accident. So we never see that scene. I want to not skip it because you haven't seen it properly before, and I just did it again by accident. Whoops. $68.72. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, can I? I feel like I equipped something that can be modified at some point. I'm not going crazy. Yes. Never mind, we can't do it. We need Pensive Force Taste. Let's talk to these two. Kokoro. Ray, what's up? You're gloomy. I want to know what happened between you and Sen when you fought a nemesis. I don't want to talk about it, not even to you, Ray. Just thinking about it makes me want to punch a hole in the wall. The only thing stopping me from doing it are 2 words. Security deposit. Still, please. Will you let me hug you? Fine. In that case, when I tried to finish her off, she protected Nemesis. But why would she do that? Don't ask me. I have no idea, and I don't want to find out. Anyway, that's all I know. Oh, and don't forget our promise. No, it's me, Ray. Yeah, hello, it's Nanana. I'm glad at least you're your usual self, Nanana. Of course, if it makes Ray happy, Nanana will always... Oh, spectres are gathering. because you're so loud. Are you okay? I'm fine. Yeah, I need to go now. Destroy them all. None of the beam. I forgot I got that fucking rainbow laser beam. I completely forgot I have that beam. Beam? And a new ordeal. Skepticism. Once you're ready, carry on, but let not your guard down. I want to see what it says at the end. God, it's such a scroll. Yeah, things between Kokoro and Sen were still hostile. Alright, he captured a girl at the shrine. He was arrested by the police. He found his own scream of death to be entertaining. Yeah, so he went around murdering people for his art. Just thinking about him with someone else would cause her to scream in agony. It was not acceptable. Oh, jeez. He modeled a puppet after the most famous girl model, but the puppet was no match to her. Jealous, he killed her and himself. Oh, Jesus Christ. Edgar, he ended up dying early due to fatigue. He was satisfied in death until he learned the afterlife of his diagnosis was a mistake. Original ideal too. Oh, alright, let's do this quick. Because of course. Pensive Fort hearing. Is the shop selling a new Pensive Fort? Hey, peddler. Yay, there it is. Oh god, it's 3K. Why? Why? But as far as we know, there's usually... Is this the laser beam? There it is. I remember the beam. I just had Nanana remind me. I have to say, I have to go, Nanana beam! You know what would have been cool? Well, it would have been annoying in a gameplay sense, so I kind of get them not having it interrupt like that. But if, like, until, like, those two make up, you can only bring one of them with you, Kokoro and Sen. Like, only one will be with you because they don't want to be near the other one. And there's still that whole thing that Sen remembers mention of the Revenant Princess. So it's like, how's that gonna tie into all this as well now? You know, like, I'm really curious how this is going. It's generally something I can give credit to. It's like, I'm curious to the mystery. The game does, like, gives me just enough to make me really interested in where it's gonna go. I should really try and wait for motorbike to pass by. I should really try and use the beam more now I remember it's here. I genuinely just completely forgot about it. Yeah, let me go. It's so good. I've got to swap off because I'm out of health. Oh, of course you moved out of the way. So I don't even know if it's an AI thing or a coincidental thing that, like, their movement pattern keeps on moving them out of the way. I want to say it's an AI thing, because then I can compliment the AI for actually being somewhat competent, but I don't think it's that. I think it's more coincidental. I do kind of wish this had that. I know Final Fantasy 16 came way later, so it's kind of unfair. But I do kind of wish this game had what FF16 does, where if you're maxed out on potions, when you pick one up, you just insta-use it at least. If you're not going to put it in a storage box, at least that. Because that was, to be fair, that was the grab I had with 16, so I wish the game had a storage box. And this could have done nicely with it as well, but this one I feel like it's more... It would have been more nice just because of the auto use to be able to have it work that way round. So it would have been more appreciated. Oh, there's another one. I got in here. I was like, man, there's a lot of enemies. Where's the one that's the Revenant? There it is. It's probably my favorite. Next to the Tornado. Actually, I'd probably say I prefer the Tornado slightly more, but this is one of my favorite skills on Raid, just because it does genuinely rip. It just costs a lot. Like, Ray and Nanana both have, like, one good skill that is kind of absurd. Well, I'll say Ray kind of has two, but, like, Nanana has the beam. Whilst Sen is... She's got alright skills, to be fair. Her skills aren't bad at all. Her skills do what they need to do and are very helpful in certain situations. Especially when, you know, when we don't have Nanana and we need range. Because her, like, triple slash has a range beam it sends out. Like, she's fucking Link. With, like, max health. And it's just unfortunately Kokoro who always seems to get the short end. And I don't mean to ever come across like I dislike. If you like Kokoro as a character to play as, fantastic. It's just she's not. She could be so much more. She's a fun challenge mode. I'll give her that. And I really hope if they have a more melee focused class in the next game, that they just give them more options instead of just making them the brawler type. Because that's all Kokoro's lacking is options. It's because she doesn't have many options that she ends up falling behind. I say that, Sen kind of lacks options as well, but the options she does have are all pretty damn good, so you end up not minding so much. You know, like triple slash sends out the beam, and, you know, swords hits many targets. Or at least sprays out to try and hit many targets, sometimes doesn't always work. And her default combo is it's got a high combo chain and hits kind of quick, while still doing decent damage. I like Nanana Beam! Nanana Beam is my favorite attack in the game in terms of, like, the charm of it. And I appreciate that the cutscene reminded me of it, because I would have continued to completely forget about the beam. Until I probably used it by accident. That was probably what would have happened eventually. Where I would have misinputted. So for those of you who haven't been here from the start, maybe like got on bits and pieces or whatnot, you basically just hold R2 and then it's whatever face button you press does whatever skill you've got set to it. And I've got square set to the beam. But triangle is this, which is what was my go-to super for her, for just trying to get like enemies off our tail. Because she's like the only character, to be fair, it's partially my own fault, she's the only character I have something interesting on square. Ray, the big slash is X, the multi-slash is circled, and the tornado is triangle. Sen, the swords are on square, I had to check. But I don't use the swords that much because her other attack is on X. You know what I mean? And also, like, Kokoro's Kokoro. I fucking skipped it again. I need to not skip it. I want to see that scene. I mean, way more enjoyed moments yet. Oh, we can upgrade this now. We got some. We got, well, brought some taste. Oh, nice. That's actually pretty dang appreciated. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna save and then we're gonna head into trying to get poor Sen to talk about her mother. Skepticism, let's go. Because it's just because Sen panicked, I get it. It's like, it's still not helpful, and it's going to be hard to explain, especially to Kokoro, why, what happened, but still. It's like a forest, it's so dark here. Oh, yeah, right. Kokoro, don't surprise hug me like that. You promised me, though. You're the only one that can heal my heart, Ray. I said yes, but this was so sudden. Kokoro, oh! Who's my big chance? Hug Nanana too! Oh no. Stop it, you two! I'm getting crushed! But Nanana is super light, though. Say it like I'm heavy. Whatever, can we stop now before I summon Heraclitus? Before I fucking hurt you two? We don't know where we are. Let's stop with the jokes. But my feelings for you were serious when I hugged you. No, too. Well, I guess that's a whole other problem. Huh? Where's Sen? I don't know. No, hasn't seen her. It's not like Sen to be late. I don't mind her absence. Now she won't be able to get in my way. But she fought alongside us till now. She's an ally. I used to think that too. But I was wrong. Sen, there you are! Who knows what she was doing here alone, though. Something was bugging me about this place. I wanted to scout the area. What was bugging you? I can't say I know yet for sure. Another secret, huh? I'm sorry, but I need a little more time. When the time is right, I will explain everything. And when will that be? After Nemesis escapes again? Let's go, Ray. No. We'll find Mirai and defeat Nemesis. What? I don't think I can convince you right here and now. But please allow me to fight alongside you. I want to make that request too, Kokoro. Yes, no, I can't have fun without Sen around. Fine, majority rules. But I'm not convinced, and I haven't forgiven you. I understand. Oh, because she... God damn it. So I just want to, like... So I get it from Sen's point of view. She has a lot to fucking think about. And it's hard for her to kind of piece it together. But I also get Kokoro, it's like, you stopped the person who murdered her baby from getting her comeuppance. So she's furious at, like, Sen. And probably doesn't trust her right now. And the whole time Sen can't put her thoughts into words. It's just worse. It's just like, oh, I want to get the two sat down and be like, talk it out. Just take the time you need. What the heck just came our way? Something a lot bigger and more vicious just came our way as an attack. Was it these guys? Did you guys summon something? I think they did. But now it makes this chapter more curious, because Sen's unsurety about this area is going to take a different light, because her unsurety of this area... Trails, I can't escape you, mate. Hey, one man, hope you're doing well. You've missed a lot. Loop 2 has changed... Like, the changes started out more subtle, but they've got more and more dramatic as they've gone on. Like, it started out with... In Chapter 6, there's a point where you get split up, because Ray hears Mirai's voice and immediately chases afterwards. And in that first loop, Nanana chased after us, and so when we bumped into Nemesis trying to kill Mirai, it was before Sen met her, and so it was before Sen could start realizing that maybe Nemesis is her mother. On this loop, Sen is the one that chases after us, and so it's just Rei and Sen that go after it. So when we beat into Nemesis, Sen and Nemesis meet earlier, and it resulted in the boss fight at the end of Chapter 6, that was usually the first time Sen bumps into Nemesis, is now the second, and the time where she realizes Nemesis is her mother. So Kokoro goes to kill her then and then, Sen stops Kokoro doing so, but she can't quite put her feelings into words yet because she's still like, wait a minute, this demon we've been chasing is my mother? So now we've gone into Chapter 7, and instead of Chapter 7 being, we don't know where we are, what mystery is there to solve? Kokoro straight up doesn't trust Sen anymore because she thinks Sen is on Nemesis' side, but Sen just can't put her feelings into words of her realizing that the demon they've all been trying to kill and hunt down is actually her mum. So Sen's just confused in herself. So instead of exploring through here as, oh, what's in the Dark Forest? There's a genuine tension in the group because Kokoro basically just wants to beat the shit out of Sen for getting in the way and letting Nemesis escape. But Sen can't put her thoughts and feelings into words, but the rest of the group doesn't want the divide to happen, so is trying to keep them together. Nemesis is trying to get back to reality so she can meet with her daughter. There's a yes, I completely concur with that theory. I think that is exactly what's going on. I just think now it's going to throw Nemesis for a loop because the person she's trying to get to is here, and Nemesis realized what was going on this loop around the same time Sen did. Whilst in the original loop, I don't think she ever got to realize because she was already defeated by then. She was already down when it was even mentioned. So it's going to lead to probably a different finale in Chapter 8, whether we end up fighting Nemesis or not there, this time around. Because Nemesis straight up stopped trying to fight us, and it was her servants who warped her out of there when Sen protected her. In her panic, which led to the whole thing. At the very end of the game on the first loop, Kokoro and Sen basically killed each other because of the realization, the tension building. That nearly happened again, but because the whole gang was here, it managed to stop that happening. But all Sen can do is apologize, which is like, just please give me time to explain. And Kokoro basically left it as, you can stay in the party because of majority vote. The other two didn't want Sen to go. But she doesn't trust her for a second anymore, and she sure as shit doesn't forgive her for letting, Kokoro's baby killer go free. And I don't know how much it's going to get covered up when she says, that's my mother, because it's like, oh, so it's okay for you to protect your family, but for me not to get revenge for mine? Like, I can already hear it in my head, how it's going to go with Kokoro and Sen. Maybe they'll be able to, split their differences and figure it out, but we'll have to see. But it's made it more interesting to see where this is going, because obviously, now things are different. And there's already other signs that things were different even before then, because the first subtle change is that when the Revenant Princess was brought up, although Sen didn't know why, she recognized the name immediately. Because Sen being more logical focused, I suppose, when something she knows she's heard before but can't place it appears, she questions it more, but she recognizes the name. So it's like clearly something is creeping through the loops. There's something that's not right that's creeping through the loops that she's starting to remember. So I don't think it's just different universe characters. I think it's the exact same characters in the previous loop. There's just some kind of shenanigan with time going on making it loop round. That's my theory anyway. So it is the same cast. It's just parts of their memories are getting locked off to continue the memory. And heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if the twin demons know this and are letting it happen. So, Phyllis and Mephis. I wouldn't be surprised if they know. But yeah, as well, because I was saying earlier in the, when in the stream, one man, I was like, although I've got problems with the gameplay and the level design is extremely repetitive, I'm in it for the long haul because I'm genuinely invested in the characters and story. I genuinely want to see where this goes and how it's going to handle it, even with the loops. And I can't get enough of Nanana, so I need more of this fucking deranged child. But I hope your Trails journey through Kuro is still going well and you're still enjoying it. The game looks crazy every time I glance at like your streams. But like, I mean that in a good way. I mean like it just looks like it just kind of... It reaches for the stars a little bit. Just don't give her a Twitter account. Yeah. Oh, god damn it. I need to deal with the mage. I can deal with fucking Hercules in a minute. I need to deal with the range problems. Absolutely. Oh wow, I caught him on the backswing. That's funny. She just downright grabs the moon stars and drags them down to earth. Hell yeah. I'm glad. Because always the thing, like I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more of a spin-off title, so there's always that concern with spin-offs, so like it won't keep up or like have the same impact with the main titles. I might be completely wrong on that because I don't know enough of like Trails to answer that honestly, but from at least the impression I got, it is more spin-off-y or spin-off-esque. Ow. And the only spin-off is Nayuta. Oh, fair enough. Then I'll just shut up then. Are there any others you think you'll do, like try and play the fan translations of? That like, you're going to try and get on top of as soon as you're done? Or do you think there's a few of them that you'll just wait for like the dubs? Or the localizations even? Anything over here? No. I know you guys can't see as well because once again this area and YouTube's bitrate for some reason just makes it like, or not bitrate, whatever it is, its process just makes it like pitch black in here when it's not actually, it is dark but it's not dark from my end. Kuro's like a different world. Now I'm also getting Kuro's 2 monster fan patches in. That's fair enough. I kind of want to swap to Nanana, but she's on kind of low health. Also, I am wearing the alternate colours you get for, oh well, it's in like a bright moon directly above us. That you get for the first cycle, so like Ray's in red, Nanana's in black and green, which I actually really like the black on her, to be honest, I think it really suits her. Sen, instead of the black armour, has white armour, and Kokoro has a bit of an orange like cloak and shorts, instead of it all being blue. But some of the characters in this game, not every character is made equal. Some of like the villain characters are kind of generic. But some of the characters in this are just becoming more things that are kind of making me want to write characters sort of like them. Like, I want to kind of write a Nanana-like character, you know? Like this complete childish, like, kind of floofy-haired, long-sleeved goofball. You know, that sounds fun. I don't know where I'd fit it in some of my books, because, like, the next book I plan to do is also not going to be dark, probably, but still going to be kind of morbid and dark in places. And I don't know how much, like, super fuzzy goofball will fit into it. But it's just another, like, character kind of trip I kind of like doing. Because I already have, like, a kind of Kokoro-esque character, not, like, big sister type, as in, like, just, like, super into everyone. That's in Demon of Zenelheim. One of the main characters, Ellie, literally flirts with anything that moves. And, like, really overdoes it, because she just loves people. Fair. I mean, I get, like, adding, like, lighter-hearted characters even to, like, super dark material just because it's a living pace-breaker, then. It's something that doesn't just make it, like, consistently miserable. It's something, like, because even, like, after, like, the Kokoro and Sen's, like, disagreement and their, like, their miniature fight, that should be, like, a really dark and depressing moment. Kokoro, came and spoke to us privately about what was going through her mind and what she was feeling, but said she would only talk about it if she got a hug, and it led to a nice comedic moment at the start of this level, where as soon as the level starts, Kokoro fucking dives on rage, like, no, you promise, you let me have this hug, you know, like, so even in, like, that moment where it's a still, like, kind of sensitive and dark moment, in terms of, like, two main characters not seeing eye to eye and nearly killing each other at one point, they still managed to get a little bit in to kind of make it a little bit breathable, to make it a little, like, less, like suffocating with, like, its material getting more serious. Because that is a thing, and it's, like, I've read a number of books, or, like, just watched a number of shows, and certainly played enough games, where, like, the overabundance of its dark material starts to get too much, and you start to kind of burn out of it, because there's nothing to, like, break the pace. Where's it going in the third? Jesus Christ, dude. That's cool, though. I was saying earlier in the stream, I have been writing more, where with my week off work, when I finish streaming, I've got more spare time, so I have been doing more writing. And I'm finally starting to get to, like, some of the more critical moments in Act 3. So I want to get at least the first draft of Act 3 done by the end of the year, and then I can start, like, putting the pieces together for the second draft, you know, reading it back through, which is going to be long, because it's a fucking big book. Especially because there is a few things I already know are going to get altered or changed, because there was a few plot points I decided to take in slightly different directions later in the book, because I found them more interesting to write about, but it means I need to course correct some parts in the past to either better set it up, or just, you know, not contradict it. You know, those little things where I was like, actually, if I make this little change, it's a bit more interesting, but there's now something in Act 1 I might need to clean up, you know? I don't have enough another beam. Because the main character of Demon of Zelheim, Azel, she has sort of become, like, not to the same extent, because Azel as a character goes through way more than me as a human being have gone through. But there's also a lot of, like, my own way of dealing with, like, you know, when bad things happen, I put into Azel. Like, the way Azel deals with some of her traumas is reflective of how I deal with it. It's for better or worse sometimes. Like, I do, like, there is a little bit of almost self-criticism. It's like sometimes Azel handles something that's on her mind poorly, and it's reflective of how I've handled things poorly in the past, you know? So it's helped me write Azel as a main character, because, like, there's reference points that aren't just, you know, other works. It's reference points of my own experience. It is going to be, like, hard, though, when I actually finish Demon of Zelheim, because I've been working on this book for the past 4 years now, and it's like, once I'm actually done with it, it's going to be like, this has just been, like, I'm 24, this has been, like, a decent chunk of my life, in that sense, you know? This has been a decent chunk of my life I've been working on this. I started doing the planning for it before my 21st. I think I was 20, if not just turning 20, when I first started the planning for it, and the pen didn't hit the paper until nearly 2 years later. Oh, a fork in the road. The spectres are getting stronger too. Aren't you glad Sen came with us, right? Right? Yeah, Nanana's like, please be more, like, kind. Why are you looking at me? My feelings haven't changed. Continuing along the road is dangerous. We need a plan. I think I know a way out of here. What do you mean you know? I wasn't sure at first, so I didn't mention it, but I think I know this place. I can't remember it clearly, but I think I've been here before. There's no way that can be possible. What are you up to, trying to trick us? I don't blame you for being suspicious. Still, I do absolutely know this place. I just don't know why. I don't sound convincing, but I still hope you can believe me. I can't trust any words from her mouth. Kokoro. So I'll leave it to Rei. You can say what you want, but Rei will decide which way we go. I'm okay with that. I told you, those... Kokoro wants Sen dead right now, because okay, I'll lead the way. And it doesn't help that, like, Sen hasn't put her thoughts and feelings into words. And so, as far as Kokoro's concerned, it was a nonsensical reason for her to defend Nemesis. And so she's even more frustrated because she doesn't have an answer. That's what Thomas has said. Alright, no profit. Yeah, it's true, I get it. There's just different ways of writing, obviously. I implement a lot of myself into it just because that's the nature of my character building structure. It's just how I do it. Even if I didn't intend to, it would still happen. Because every character I write, usually tends to stem from something from me one way or another, and then just molded into whatever I want them to be for the character. But like that absolute chorus spine, like Ellie isn't honest with, like, to give Ellie an example, that character, she isn't honest with herself sometimes. So like the flirting with everything that moves thing, that's not me, because I'm way too shy to do that. But her not always being entirely honest with herself and sometimes keeping things that she should really be sharing with others so they can help them, keeping them to herself, that's based in me, you know? So that gets included. Or like Luna always doubting everything. In the, especially in the earlier half of the story. She's a huge doubter, like, for a lot of it. That's from me. That's 110% from me. Or like Lux sometimes missing the obvious when it's right in front of him. That's a bit of me. You know, like there's pieces of me in every character. It's just, it's not the whole character. It's just a part of like the origin point that then gets molded into whatever. I mean, yeah, when it comes to like social, especially anyone who I have been with, or anyone that I have at least like tried it out with or whatever, could vouch for the fact that I am a terrible flirt, because every single time I flirt, it's accidental. I never intentionally flirt. I'm awful at it, and so like that's not part of me. That's not a part of me. Every time I flirt, it's entirely accidental. Or sometimes it's like, it's a genuine compliment, and people go like, "Oh, you," and I'm like, "No, I meant that like sincerely," you know. No, not really. It's like accidental, accidental flirting is just accidental cheeky, you know. So in that sense, not really, but in another sense, yeah, because it's still something that's really nice and could come across as me like trying to get with them, which is kind of like pieces of flirting anyway. So it can come across as it, so to the recipient it might be like, "Were you flirting?" But then equally, I'm as bad as Lux in missing like social cues sometimes, because equally I know, like, because I eventually get told there have been times that people have flirted with me back and I haven't caught on. like a traditional like anime protagonist, I just miss it entirely. Yeah, I'm the same in that sense. Well, I say that I'm nicer more often because I genuinely usually only have nice things to say about the people in my life. Or like more often than not, I should say. But I genuinely like only have nice things usually to say about people around me. Which is nice, because then like for like my closer friends who know me better, they know I'm not flirting when I'm being nice to them. They know I'm being genuine, and it's a genuine compliment intended as such. It's like when I'm talking to a friend, I go, "Oh my god, your hair looks lovely today." They know I'm not trying to do anything. They know I'm just being nice. Or that's not being nice. They know I mean that. They know I genuinely think their hair looks nice. I'll see if you're on the spectrum. It's not a matter of like that, because to be fair, because I am a psychologist, so I study this way too much. Every single human being on the planet is somewhere on the spectrum. It depends whether you cross a certain line. Like, if you pretend it's like a point score from 0 to 100, no one on the planet has 0. But if you hit like 60, then you'd be classed as on the spectrum. That's the easiest way to make it make sense. I know I'm probably somewhere around 30, if not 40s. If we're using my example of what counts. Like, I'm probably higher than, like, some average people, but I'm not on that line. That's probably, or, like, not beyond that point. That's probably the easiest way I can think to explain it. Like, there are attributes of it with me, and there are pieces of it with me, but I'm not, I'm not even remotely close to far enough along to be counted as that. That's the easiest way I can think to put it. I mean, I'm good at social cues as a whole. It's just social cues targeted at me I don't get. Like, I can read the room. It's just I'm not going to be able to, like, necessarily always pick up. Like, if someone's just going, oh, you're cute, I'll be like, oh, thanks. You know? I'm not going to necessarily catch on that maybe that's someone trying to get in bed with me. I might just be like, oh, thank you. Yeah, you're cute too. You know? Yeah, if you don't mind me saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, to use my example of like saying like 60's the line, if you're in the 50's though. If you used to but now you're not, it's probably like that it's just got more accurate, that you're probably still close to it, it's just you're not on it anymore. If that makes sense. And that's only working off of what you've told me, where it's, I said, where you used to be on it but now you're not. That to me strikes as it's just got more accurate, so you're probably like close to it but not on it anymore. About 30 now, fair. So I don't know the actual numbers in that sense per se. I've pretty much made up those numbers. I'm just saying, if 60 was the line, would you say you're around 50 or would you like lower sort of thing? That was all. There's a regular customer who I serve at my shop, the shop I work at, Morrison's, who I'm relatively close with. She's a bit older than me, but she's like very high on the spectrum, but she's genuinely delightful, and I've made a real nice friendship with her, talking to her. And it's like, the amount of times like I will just kind of notice she's struggling to process anything, especially on a busy day, and I'll just kind of come over and like help out with her shopping and talk to her. Sometimes she'll give me a big old hug, and like she has like a really lovely like tight hug. And it's like, so it's like in that sense, it's like I know where I sit in it, because it's like I know that's a different level that she has in that sense. And I know that's not the level I'm at. I'm very much different. I can, for the most part, the only time I can't handle like big social situations is if I'm already like struggling with something else. You know? Like, if I'm already, like, going through it and, like, had a really bad day, and then suddenly says, oh, by the way, like, go do a speech in front of a group of people, and I'm gonna be like, huh? But if it's just a mild day and someone says, hey, can you quickly just, like, here's this thing I've made on the spot, I need you to go tell, like, 100 people it, I'll be like, alright, like, I'll be nervous, but I'll do it, you know? I know, 3 to 9. Oh, fair enough. But in following that one, I'd probably say I'm, like, a 2. Then. I know in self-diagnosis is barely count, but that's pretty where I'd say I am. I'm a 2, if not like a 1.5. Like, I've got glimmers, but I'm not that deep. Please wait, I'm so tired. Ray, you have low stamina for someone who's still alive. Maybe you should join a sports club instead of some imaginary club. If I join a club to be strong, I'd rather be weak. And for the record, the going home club is real. There's an open area ahead. We might be able to rest there. You saying that because you've been here before? I'm okay with rest anywhere. Let's get going. So neurodevelopment disorder. Oh, right. So it could be something, but we're not quite sure. Got it. That's really helpful. That's what that sounds like. There could be something, but we don't really know. More results. Yeah, true. And I have enough physical things to worry about before I start worrying about my mental. And my results are going to be skewed anyway because I have minor PTSD. So if I did go through it, there'd be certain things that would be off regardless. It's why sometimes I have infrequent insomnia. I mentioned it many times before because it doesn't bother me mentioning it. But it's like, I have infrequent insomnia sometimes come up, usually because of how my brain works, because of all of that happened a few years back. Sometimes my brain just decides I'm not sleeping for the next 3 days, and I just have to deal with it. Thankfully, touch wood, I slept nicely last night. I actually slept pretty damn well. I went to bed at a very reasonable time of like 10 PM, and I slept straight to 7, so I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I was a good boy in my sleeping schedule for once. Entries are immutable, but with stuff I enter into my lens and development stages, the rest of my life. Yeah, I get that, especially in the core years, because once again, hey, psychologist here, especially during your teenage years and even going as far into your young adulthood, the things that can happen there, because your brain is still growing in different ways, can kind of get latched onto it permanently. The most crucial year of your life is your 13th. Shit that happens when you're 13 sticks with you whether you like it or not. Because it's some of the most crucial years of development is around when you're 13 to 14, for example. Another crucial year is when you're 8, I believe, because that's when your id and ego are at their peak development and it's starting to form a proper, full-functioning superego. And so the things that happen in your life then will magnify into your superego. Because your id is at birth and your ego starts coming around when you're 3, but they take a long time to fully develop. And for those who aren't into like the science stuff, id is your want, your desire to just want things. Your ego is your but should I, and your super ego is what makes the choice. That's the dumbest way and simplest way to explain it for anyone who doesn't know. Like id is I want this candy bar that's on the shelf. Ego is but I need to buy it. Super ego is should I buy it or should I steal it? And like when your id and ego are developing, your super ego isn't there at first, which is why kids are so almost experimental, and it's why kids get themselves in trouble so much at a young age, regardless of how good they are, because they need to test that boundary to discover their super ego. But if something happens in those crucial development points, especially when they're around 8, that will be apparent for the rest of their life. Like if you can't, I'm not saying they can't be like helped, but if they're like in a real bad place at 8, that will show up in their teenage years, and it will show up in their young adulthood. That's when like, because some people can be born with anger management issues. There's different things with it, but that's how developed anger management issues can come about. For example. Because there's 2 lists of conditions. There's inherent and there's developed, and so that's how like developed anger management can come in. That's how developed disconnects can happen. For me, I went through a lot of shit when I was 16, so for me it was more just later era development of how brain development is in general outside of super ego that it then left an impact on that my brain sometimes locks up. But I do tend to do better when I talk about it, which is why I'm so open about it all the time, because I know it's healing when I do that. Yeah, but then that's almost what I mean. Like, obviously it's never one-to-one because humans are a fickle thing. I sound like an alien, but like people as a whole are always super fickle, and especially the brain and the heart and how they work with each other and against each other. But there is a trend. Like things that happen in your core development tend to affect your adulthood. And things that can happen during, especially your core years, let's say when you're like 8 or maybe during your teenage, can have radical effects on how you are as an adult, and it can lead to criminal behavior. It's huge! There really was a place where we can rest. I don't think it's a coincidence. Sen must really have been here before. What do you mean? Sen, can you remember anything? Sen, Kokoro, what's going on? Sen noticed too, huh? But there are more. They were gathering in the surrounding darkness. Yeah, because for Ray, every time these two turn their backs on each other, she gets worried. It's like, no, they tried to kill each other earlier. Rest time can wait. Let's get out these guys first. Oh no! Because Sen brought them over here. I already know it's going to go. Sen brought them over here, and now they got ambushed. So Kokoro's going to be like, oh, you planned that, didn't you? You're going to try and get us all fucking killed? You know, that's how it's going to go. I can already feel it. Because Kokoro's already extremely furious at Sen. She's going to look at any opportunity to justify her anger. wizards. Where's the Shadow Wizard Money Gang? I need to deal with him. We just love casting spells. Get out of here. Yeah, that's the end of the mission. Oh well, I went the right way by accident. Oh well, more secrets I can try and pick up in a more stream maybe. That was it, right? Even if it wasn't, I've reached my limit. Let's find out. None in a search mode. She's just gonna go run off and search the area. Got it. According to none in a search mode, there are no more left. Everything's okay. You just looked around. Well, whatever. If it's safe, then let's take a break. Nice. Oh no. Oh no, I just realised. On the first run, this is the moment where we all sat around and had a really wholesome chat. And it was really happy. But now there's tensions in the group on the second loop, so it's not going to be as wholesome or as happy. It's like, no, that was like my favourite moment between the characters on the first run. Was that they all just got to sit down and be a group of friends. Campfire time! Bum bum da ba! What kind of campfire is that? First off, there's no fire. I don't know. I don't have any memories of when I was alive. How strange. Not just Nanana, Kokoro and Sen too. We never would have met in the real world. The four of us gathered in this strange place and spent time together. That's the interesting thing about human relationships. No one knows how people are connected. Not to mention when we're in purgatory. In this post-death afterworld. Death itself isn't the finale. Sounds like there's more to this story. Do you remember something? Not everything, but at the end of these woods is an area where I first arrived when I came to Purgatory. It's not where Kyosuke Tamasu was, the prison-looking place? Before Kyosuke Tamasu, I was dragged here by a revenant before then. That's how you knew about this place. The closer I get, the clearer my memory becomes. When we get there, I'll talk about everything, including Nemesis. Okay, made it this far, can hold off a little longer. We'll see what decision I make when. Well, I can save it for later. Yeah, Kokoro is basically just saying, if I don't like this answer, I will attack you again, though. But she's prepared to be modest and, like, respectable about it, at least. She's calmed down, thank God. I was worried Kokoro's gonna fly off again and be like, you led us here. I think you should rest a little more before continuing on. All of us should. Talk to Kokoro. We know this bit again, but now this time with a bit more tension. Excuse me, Kokoro. What's the matter, Ray? Should get some rest. It's regarding Sen. Can't make up with her, if that's why you're here. But we all fought together. Because we weren't up against Nemesis. That's true, but... Besides, Ray, you're asking the wrong person. What happens to our relationship depends on her, not me. I haven't changed one bit since meeting you, Ray. Not at all. Nemesis destroyed everything I had. I will get revenge with my own hands. That means everything to me. You know it's serious, because Kokoro didn't ask for a hug. Oh, Sen. She's someone who needs a hug. Sen, it's now a good time. You're awake? What is it? What you said has been bothering me. As I said earlier, I'll tell you everything as soon as I remember it all. The Revenant that drags you into Purgatory, wasn't it Nemesis? All I can say now is that the Revenant called itself the Revenant Princess. And so, yeah, that she's remembering ahead of the loop that it was Kuon that took her. She's ahead of where she was on the previous loop. She's figuring it out that it was Kuon. And that she knows that the Revenant Princess probably isn't Nemesis, because she just said it, that, like, the way she's wording it. The Revenant Princess. As you get closer, I should be able to remember everything. So it's important to rest now, especially you, Ray. What about you, Nanana? How are you handling the parents arguing? Ray, you don't need to rest? I wanted to talk with everyone. Nanana too? Oh, that fills me with excitement. I don't know about that. I know, Nanana is excited just talking to you, Ray. I've never had anyone say that to me. Mostly because I don't have any friends. Nanana is a friend, right? Yeah, if it's okay with you. Of course, I can do anything for my favorite person, Rei. I'm happy, but don't push yourself too hard. If Nana needs to push hard to save Rei. No, I know how the first cycle ended. Don't fucking... No, if something happens to you, Nana, I would not be happy with that. Don't forget it, okay? Okay, you betcha. The best thing for us both is to have fun and excitement. Oh, we should rest. And then she rested. Huh? Oh, I came back. There are 3 recorded messages. Rei, you back? I'm going to go on ahead, so I'll see you over there. We're waiting in the open area. Join us when you're ready. And thank you for listening to me. Everyone is gone, but everything's okay here. I'll be waiting, without pushing myself. Oh, she took our words to heart. Recollection of truth. Yeah, because that was the thing. One man that revealed that things were starting to change. Part 1 was called Fanatic 2, because it was just basically mostly, if not entirely, the same as the first time we went through Chapter 6. But then Sprout and Priest of Truth were different names because things changed. And so now all the levels have different names from how they did on the previous run, because everything's changed. Increase luck? Ooh. Oh. That'll do. Have I got another Crystal Ego? 1, I need another Crystal Ego 2. Self-sacrifice. Oh, it flips. Okay, because the Crystar is more magic defense focused, while self-sacrifice is more physical defense focused. Whatever will be, will be. Fucking Carl. A revenant of a little girl. Carl? A girl? Little girl. Carl. Yes, that's a little girl's name. Okay. Revenant of a little girl whose life was taken away by the Revenant Princess on her way back home. She wants revival so she can see her parents. She had a happy family, but was slain by a Kuon. Her life was nothing special. Did she really love her parents? With how boring her life was, she could not prove or disprove it. She wanted revival. She needed proof she loved her parents. Actions are the only way to prove strong feelings. Revenant of a man who desires revival. He was killed in the accident caused... Oh, he died in the bus. Got it. He absolutely had to reach revival. He left his beloved girlfriend, and they'd made a promise. She committed suicide due to being bullied for her looks. Jesus. She always felt that she was inferior to others. She always wished for the world to be dark. She hated the light for showing her appearance. Zeno, a revenant of a cult member. She died in an incident treated as a mass suicide. She wanted to destroy every stereotype that was the cult that she affiliated with. She agreed with their ideals. Molesworth, a revenant who died from an accident. Oh, right, really detailed. She had a strong desire for approval. Her focus on life was posting pictures online and getting complimented for it. Alright, she was an Instagrammer, got it. I'll do one more mission and I'll wrap up, just because it's starting to get pretty warm. It's not as hot as it has been, but it is starting to get pretty warm. And as I've said before, I'm honestly not sure whether I'll stream tomorrow or not, because I'm back at work on Monday, so I might just want to rest tomorrow. But I will let you guys know, and I will update the community tab when I've made my decision. It's just an Instagram teen. I wouldn't go that far. There's nothing that's expressly said it was like her body or anything. It was just someone who like someone who's just on probably on something like Instagram all the time, taking pictures of herself with like all those fancy filters to make themselves look beautiful, and really cares way too much about the like to dislike ratio. you know, the biggest like deficit to teenage mental health is how openly you can let people judge you through social media.
Ray, you're late. Did you oversleep?
Ray, don't worry about it. You're really stressed out after all. I'm sorry, where's Sen?
Sen isn't late or oversleeping.
She's just scouting, yep. I was scouting the way through the woods. I'd like to confirm what's waiting for us up ahead as soon as possible. If you trust me, I'd like to lead the way. Please, we need your help, Sen. Are you okay with it, Kokoro? Do as you want. Let's go, this way. Come on, it's been like 3 days in-game. Stop being so fucking stubborn about not trusting her. You know it's the same person. It was just one thing that really confused her. And I think even Kokoro's got to realise that something's confusing her that she's trying to get an answer for, which caused her to do that. She's just being stubborn about her annoyance at her. Thanks, Peddler. See you around. But tomorrow, starting tomorrow, in the UK, it's supposed to rain for the next 7 days straight. So tomorrow, hopefully, it'll be way cooler. If I do decide to stream, maybe we can go on for a while. But that's it, that just honestly depends how I feel. Because I might just want to rest since I'm back at work on Monday. And also, we're like starting like not next week, it's the week after. It's going to start to get a little cluttered in the schedule again, because Genshin 4.1, where the character I'm most looking forward to seeing is now confirmed to be showing up in it, is in 2 weeks' time. But literally the fucking day after it is Final Horizon for Sonic Frontiers. So it's like that week's going to be messy. That week's going to be messy. I already know. Kuro's delight. Yeah, that's the best thing when you're streaming a game you absolutely fucking love, because you just don't want to stop. Like, I do like this game a lot. I have problems with it, but I like it a lot. But it's not the same as like absolutely fucking loving something and be like, I just need to play more. I just need to play more, because then you just enjoy streaming and you just want to keep going. Like, I'm always down for more Genshin, so I'm always excited for those streams, which is why sometimes the Genshin streams end up being really fucking long. It's why sometimes they end up like 7 to 8 hours. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I just get way too into it. Love the Russian dub. Dude, speaking of 15, I was like, I don't know when, because, you know, even like next year is going to be kind of busy at first, because February's got so many games I want to play. But I was thinking about like when I want to cover 15 on stream, because 15, like 12, I let's played many a moons ago, so I'm less in a rush to go through it. Because it's like there's already content of me going through the whole game on the channel. It's just in let's play form instead of like live streams. I'm gonna get yourself a PS5. That would be cool. Just in general, that'd be sick. More content, more accessibility. Be able to play some games in better frame rates. Although, like, I know frame rates aren't the end-all be-all. Trust me, it is real nice just being able to play like games and know they'll be in 60 frames per second off the rip, and not have to worry about whether they're going to be locked to 30 or some shit. And if they're PS5 inherent, the load time is going to be super short. DMC 5, if you play in LDK on the special edition on next gen, I don't think it compromises anything other than I don't think you can turn ray tracing on. But I wouldn't recommend putting it on anyway, because ray tracing is just light ray and how it affects scenery, so it does it automatically and you don't notice that shit. For how much extra work it puts on the console, it's not worth it. Because if you have ray tracing turned off and you have performance mode turned on, you can play the game at 120 frames per second on console, which is absurd. Playing DMC 5 at 120 frames is fucking wild. Oh, Sen learned a new seal. There's only like 5 or 6 PS4 games that aren't playable on PS5, and they're all because their license agreements ran out. Like, they're licensed games, or license-tied games. And because their license agreements worked out, they just weren't allowed to go on the PS4, the PS5. That's it. Every single other PS4 title, new and old, goes on it. So basically, any game that I can tell you right now, any game you're gonna want to play on PS4 through PS5, you'll still be able to play through your PS5. It's literally just a couple license things that just can't because the licenses ran out. You need someone to teach you Nero? Yeah, it's always wild to me to play that because literally every single person that's ever played Devil May Cry that I know understands Nero is the tutorial character. He's the beginner-friendly character that's way easier to understand, and he's fun because he's easier to get into. You're the first person I've ever met who doesn't like Nero. Like, people might have different feelings about his personality in the story, but in terms of a gameplay thing, people love how approachable he is because he is by far the most approachable character. And so it's always been surprising that you struggle with him. At some point I want to play Devil May Cry 5 on stream, so during then I can at least show you how I play him, and hopefully that'll give you a better idea. But still. Because before Virgil was added to DMC5, Nero was my main by far. And I did every single mission S rank with Nero on DMD. I said the character I don't like is V. I struggle with V a lot. Because I don't find that I can be as expressive with him as I can the other two main characters. Like, Virgil is kind of unfair to compare him, because Virgil is his entire character is the epitome of the kitchen sink approach. He just has everything, you know? Like, he just has everything, so it's kind of unfair to compare. Whilst Dante has set things with his styles, Nero has set things with his more aggressive playstyle and the arm switching, and V has the tactician approach. So it's like, it's just how you want to play and how style it is. It just unfortunately is that V wasn't for me, and I never really got the click with him. I get why people like him, he's just, for me, he was the weakest part of the game. And Dante is just because Dante, although he's amazing and has everything, I genuinely just got worse as him as the games went on. I'm great with him in 3, I'm okay with him in 4, I feel like I'm pretty bad with him in 5. Like, I can do the basic shit, but I feel like I could do better, but I'm not really. Also, what was this Sen's new skill? Charge and roll with an attack in the line, then ground pound the area. That sounds a little intricate. That sounds like a brand new skill, finally, and not just an upgrade to what she already has. Oh my god, she's Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, okay, that's actually kind of sick. I kind of like that. She just gets the fuck in there, look at it. Hell yeah. Yeah, to be fair, you can make out of the main 3 tracks, because once again, Buried Alive I think is kind of cheating, because that song wasn't just a Virgil song, it was a swan song for the series, so it had to be a bigger deal and had to put way more time and effort into it. But of like the main 3, you could make an argument for any of them being the best. I genuinely like Crimson Cloud a lot. I know some people aren't the biggest fan of it, because it is, even for Devil May Cry standards, kind of fucking different. But I genuinely like it for what it is. I love the instrumental bit and the dun 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 at the end. And I love the actual, like, the lyrical and how the lyrics are presented in the song. Because it sounds like demented in places. Because it is, it's an extension of like some of the demented past of Virgil in V. Devil Trigger is the ultimate celebration track, and it's the ultimate party track. I fucking love that song too. And Subhuman is it's the background music I play when a section's frustrating me a bunch. If there's a section in the game that's really annoying me, and I want to like fucking go in there and rip some heads off, Subhuman's the song I'll go to. Because Subhuman makes me feel like I'm in the mood to start ripping some heads. To Poppy, that's each their own. For me, Devil Trigger felt like the perfect song to celebrate Devil May Cry 5 even happening. Like when it was first, we first got to hear it, I remember at the time saying, Devil Trigger sounds like the developers celebrating they even get to make Devil May Cry 5 after all these years. And it felt like the party that will never stop, and I love it for that. It feels like such a big hurrah track, like we fucking got to do it, bitches. You thought it would end with the reboot, here we are. That I love it for it. It's but that's how I treat it. But that's my own like almost personal feeling imposed on it. I get why like people might not agree with it, but I love it for that reason. Like it was my go-to song. And I love how it's referenced in Buried Alive because it is Nero's theme, so of course his dad should have a glimmer of that track in it in the instrumentals near the end. And that's fair enough. And of course, there's the song that everyone remembers, the fucking credit song. Does anyone ever really like think about the credit song of the base game? It's a nice song. It's just like it's so much more somber, so it's not something that necessarily sticks in your head the same way. Because it's more focused about it's more supposed to be like from the perspective of like dancing Virgil's mother, like reflecting back, and so it's a bit more somber, and a bit more emotional. Which is funny because I at the time I was expecting to cry going through Devil May Cry 5, and I did, but not for the reasons it probably meant to. Because like I was a born and bred Devil May Cry fan, and Devil May Cry 4 I knew there was more to this coming. Like they hadn't wrapped up everything with Nero's story arc. There was more to come. They kind of left it open. Like we knew Virgil was Nero's dad. We just didn't have everything. And it's like literally I got Devil May Cry 4 on launch January 2008, loved it, and eagerly awaited Devil May Cry 5. And then I waited, and then I waited, and 11 years and 2 months later was when I finally got my answer. So for me, DMC 5, nothing else mattered. I booked it off work to play it, and I played the whole game in one day in one 14-hour straight session. No game was as important to me to get coming out, and no game had my undivided attention of excitement as much as 5. So yeah, I was along for the ride of the celebration for things like Devil Trigger. I was super in for the excitement, but what made me cry wasn't the emotional like impact, it was finishing it and knowing I'd finally fucking got there. You know? Because keep in mind, like in that 11 years, like, you know, all the abuse and everything that happened to me happened. Like, you know, all like trying to find my way through adulthood happened. Like so much of my life had happened during those 11 years. It meant the world to me. And so when I actually knew I'd got there and I'd done it and I'd finished and I'd made it, because, you know, especially in my darker points, I didn't always know if I was gonna. It just got me, you know? Like I just kind of finished it and took a step back and just went, oh, and it just got me. Oh yeah, it was a fantastic idea, and I wish they went more into it. I would have paid if they did like DLC music packs for DMC 5 to add more music tracks. I genuinely would have, because like, come on, it was right there for like easy money. I know they did sell a few, but like more, more. Give me the anime opening theme, the original anime theme. I would have absolutely gone into a fight listening to down, 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 down. You know. What's this? And there's a lyrical version of it as well, so they could have put them together. Huh? A tire, maybe? Like, no. Oh, yeah, because... Oh, and now we know where the tire's here, because this is where the bus ended up. Rugger in the background. Yeah. Like I said, it looks like a tire. There's one over there, too. What is it doing here? We should brace ourselves. Also, if you do get a PS5... genuinely, and it surprised me at the time, you might not know this, you might do though, the PS5 comes built in with like a tech demo game called Astro Playroom. It's only like 2 to 3 hours long. It's a little like playful platforming game, genuinely pretty damn fun. It's only like 3 hours long. The platinum is piss easy. You just basically play the game and pick up all the collectibles, you're done, and you can replay any level. So it's, and there's only 16 levels and they're not that long each. It's 4 levels per zone. And then there's a couple miscellaneous, like scaring an NPC, so you just go up and punch them. Oh, that's a shame. It's a really fun little game. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I got the whole thing done in like 2 to 3 hours and platinumed it, so it's a very easy game sort of thing. And it's like, it's littered to the brim with references. Like, you can find a door and there's like an AI, like little robot thing, and it's dressed up as, Jill from RE1, and she's like scared to go through a door, and on the other side is another robot dressed up like a zombie. Or like there's one that's got like a big red coat, and he has a big sword on his back, and he kicks up an enemy and just pulls out 2 little pistols that shoot paintballs instead, and just keeps up in the air by shooting them. It's like, okay, it's Dante. You know, there's a one with a big beard with like a little robot next to it, and it's like it's supposed to be like Kratos and whatever the fucking kid's name is from the reboot era. Like, there's loads of references. Or like, you can straight up find a giant PlayStation 3 and you can jump on it and use it for platforming. And like, you can go up and punch the on button for it and it will play the sound effect of the PS3 startup. Well, for Devil May Cry, I don't know. Powerhouse are doing it, and I have 110% complete faith in Powerhouse because they do Castlevania, and I fucking love the Castlevania anime. It's straight up my favorite show right now that I'm watching, and I can't bloody wait for the Nocturne to come out in a couple weeks because it's covering Rondo of Blood, my favorite story arc. So it's like, for that reason alone, it's like, if I fucking love their other work, of course I'm excited for what comes next. How it will compare to the original, we'll have to see. It depends whether it's going to follow the games, or like be in the canon and do its own thing, or whether it's going to be like a new timeline and like its own interpretation. I would be fine with anything, because like the original anime was based in between, I think it was 1 and 4, whilst this one, like, it could be anything. And it's like, if they do its own timeline, its own thing, I would be cool with that. Yeah, third-party contracts. They don't work for Netflix like a lot of other animation studios do. It's why their quality is consistent, and why they don't have annual releases. They release things when they're ready. Because basically, if Netflix ever said no, they could just reach out to someone else. It's not they're not owned by Netflix. It's just Netflix is the platform that they publish on. It's why when Netflix started cutting down the animation board, nothing changed with Powerhouse, because it's Powerhouse or their own studio with their own finances, with their own systems in place. They're fine. It's literally just that they have a third-party contract with Netflix to allow their show to be on it. If that contract ever ran out, they would just go somewhere else. So in that sense, once again, doesn't bother me. It's the same reason why, despite being on Netflix, every single season of Castlevania got a DVD release and Blu-ray release. Because, you know, if it's a first-party Netflix thing, they usually don't bother with that. But because it's not, they're not tied to them, they can do what they want. So they just make DVD releases. Yeah, never sell out to Netflix and never sell out to Crunchyroll. Both of them are extremely aggressive on their animators. Netflix just fires them for no good reason. Crunchyroll, it mistreats them and rushes them for deadlines a lot. Which is why certain like Crunchyroll-born animes have really poor animation. It's not because the team can't do it, it's because they've put through the grinder just because of Crunchyroll's sake. They have to reach a bunch of set deadlines. We should brace ourselves. Huh? Why? There are marks here. Looks like a living person was dragged this way. It's a feeding area for revenants. Do you know about this? Standing here again, I'm now convinced a year ago, a revenant dragged me here along with the other passengers. No problem now? No, not really. I know like people say about all the animation strike, but it's this amazing thing called unions, and union actors, when they get what they want, get paid well, so they're perfectly fine with it. It's just certain organizations, like Crunchyroll, don't like unions because they don't like paying actors. To such an extent that when a very prolific actor was wanting to just sit down and have a meeting with them, instead of like having that meeting, they straight up just immediately tried to replace them so they could try and get someone cheaper, because they was like, oh, you want to negotiate pay rates for what you feel like you deserve? We're just not even going to entertain having that meeting. We're just going to hire someone else. That's like how vicious Crunchyroll is. Yeah, I also know about that, but I don't use Crunchyroll. I use this little thing called the internet. I use this thing called, you're not supposed to find these animes sometimes, if I really want to watch something. And to be fair, a lot of the animes I actually genuinely want to sit down and watch happen to be on streaming services that either I have or someone in my family has. So it doesn't, so it's like, I'm not in like, I don't need to go out of my way half the time. You know? I do like commend with Data Live's dub, Data Live Season 4, that the dub was only 3 weeks behind at any given time. It wasn't like the whole show came out and then we had to wait for the dub. The dub was 3 episodes behind the subs release, weekly release. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. So if you are only interested in the dub, you're not left in the dust for long. You literally, it was only a 3-week difference. It was literally like episode 4 came out subbed, episode 1 came out dubbed. That was it. I was like, that's sick. That's how it should. That should be as close as that if you can help it. Yeah, fair enough. Hasn't just wait a year ago. That's right, the bus accident, in which I was the only survivor. To this day, no one knows what happened. I demanded an investigation into the incident, but now I see why everything remained unclear. It was a revenant. Yeah, I knew about the accident from the news, but to think it was caused by a revenant looking for souls. I was with my mother on the bus when something happened. Next thing I knew, my mother and the other passengers were trapped here. Yuri too. Ray, your friend also died in the accident. I'm sorry. If only at that time I had the power to fight revenants. No, the revenant is to blame.
That's right. No, maybe a revenant, but I don't like revenants who attack humans.
Who was the revenant that attacked you, Sen? She called herself the Revenant Princess. Princess, huh? I can only think of one person, Nemesis. For now, let's keep going. Sen doesn't want to acknowledge that. Sen knows that's not the same person, but if she turns around and says no because my mother is Nemesis, why would she have got us all in there? She still needs to figure shit out, so Sen just went, let's move on. Yeah, the Revenant Princess is cool on. Let's do it. Some things I need to confirm. I agree, I need to keep going until we obtain revival from Mirai.
No, we'll follow you all the way.
Same here, there seems to be more to this story. I just want, like, when Sen comes to terms with everything, for her to talk it out with Kokoro, and for those two to hug. I just want those two to be close again. Because those two actually, like I said before, those two are actually into each other confirmed. But now all of this, it's like, now they have to pretend like they're so distant. And it's like, oh, come on. No. It makes it so... Nanana is just Nanana. She's just a completely, like, wholesome being. I genuinely like the whole cast as a whole. I said, of the main heroes at least. The villains, like... they don't have enough screen time half the time. Especially, like, the episodic ones we had in the earlier chapters. They just kind of come and go a little too much for me to care. But the main cast I do actually like. They have grown on me a lot. Oh, which one's this one? This is... Oh, this is Mel's there. But Nanana's great. She is lovely. I just want to pinch her cheeks and just be like, oh, you. Nanana learned, and speaking of Nanana, she just learned Humpty Dumpty times 3. Speaking of Nanana, what the fuck? Shoot 3 egg-shaped bombs in an arc and explode with a knockback effect. Oh, it really has got a good knockback effect. I still prefer Nanana Beam, though. It's because she shouts, Nanana Beam! I don't know, Sen was cracking jokes earlier before all this misery happened. She cracked a joke and Ray went, wait, you can tell jokes? When it was just Sen and Ray together, she went, well, I need to make sure I look after you. If I don't, those other two, they're gonna fucking kill me. And she went, no, they won't go that extreme. And she went, I was kidding. And I was like, oh, okay. Right, it's like, oh, you tell jokes. I mean, I am 16. I am a high school girl. I do have a life outside of this. It's just it's a more tense situation. I was like, okay, fair. And when she learned that Ray, like, really doesn't eat that much, she's like, I'm gonna take you to a ramen shop when we get out of here. Kokoro is usually the one that's the happiest. It's just the fact that, you know, she doesn't know if she trusts Sen anymore. You know, someone that she genuinely liked anyway. She was robbed of killing someone who killed her baby, so she's extra, like, angry about it. And everyone else is still choosing to trust Sen because she was the only one that really witnessed it. She just heard about it. The other two just heard about it afterwards. Because Nanana arrived late and Ray was knocked unconscious during. So she just in general has got herself in a twist and is a bit frustrated. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing is, if you play a game that's on PS4 and PS5 and plan to try and stack them, start with the PS4 version. You can install both versions, either like the PS4 version or the PS5 version. Start with the PS4 because most PS4 games have the upgrade path. Not as many PS5 games have a downgrade path for obvious reasons. Why would you need a downgrade path? Because I made that mistake. I should have gone through Tales of Arise on the PS4 version so I could stack the trophy. But, oh well. The only game I can think of that's a downgrade path is Atlas Riser 2, and even then, most of the trophies are individualized, not save file. So you have to actually go back and re-get them, so there's no point. But I am excited for that DLC for Tales of Arise that got announced. 2 years after the game's out, I'm like, all I wanted was DLC of seeing the main two whilst they're a couple. And now 2 years later, we're finally getting a DLC based after the main game. So we're going to see these two as a couple. Because they kiss just before the credits roll in the main game. It's just wild that it's 2 years after the last update, finally here we are, his DLC. But that would be entirely off-stream, that's for me. That entire game was for me. And if I'm going to stream it, I'd stream it from a new file, completely from scratch. But if I want to stream a Tales of game, obviously Arise isn't the one I'd want to start with, it'd be Berseria, but Berseria's not going to happen anytime soon. But hey, you get quicker loading if you play Berseria on PS5. Arise is pretty fun. It's not as good as Berseria, and the story isn't anywhere near as dark, because the whole thing is that you're like this nobody who has parts of his memory locked, trying to find out who he is. And it's a love story along the way. It's like the story's not as dark, it's not as vicious. It's a different director from Berseria because he was working on Scarlet Nexus at the time. But I enjoyed it for what it is, and this is coming from someone who didn't like any other Tales of game. It was still my game of the year in 2021, even though I prefer Berseria. And it's like, it's not even close. But I still really enjoyed it. The only thing with Arise is that Arise is more grounded, or at least it's trying to be more grounded, because the art style is a little more realistic, the story's a little bit more grounded as a whole. There's less, like, kind of silly bullshit in it, compared to, like, some of the other Tales of games. Because even though Berseria is super dark, that game has some silly bullshit in it, especially in the side content. And Arise really doesn't in comparison. Like, outside of the, there's a character who can understand that what the owls are saying. Outside of that, there really isn't that much that's kind of, like, out there. Everything else is pretty, like, by the numbers, and more, like, to the point. And it unfortunately also goes into the gameplay style. The game is a lot more singular focus. Like it discourages you, like in Berseria, it only encourages you swapping between all 6 characters on the fly. In Arise, you can still pick whatever character you want to fight with, and you can still swap with it on the fly. But it feels a lot more focused on making you wanting to pick one character and stick with them. And what doesn't help is that the main character literally has Velvet's ability, but without the health drain. So it's just kind of busted. It's just, you kind of just do that. Like, and like, the Alphen is also kind of nice, because like Alphen as a character, his story arc, although it starts with they're trying to find his memory and not showing what he is and all that stuff, enough comes from it, and it eventually develops down an interesting road as the game goes on, that he became a very enjoyable protagonist. He's not the same as Velvet, because he's not out for vengeance, he's out to just discover himself, but he was enjoyable. And I love the love story they build up with Shion, where Shion is, like, from birth, is, like, so magic imbued that if anyone makes any physical contact with them, they suffer immense electrical pain. Because her body's so infused with magic, she can't help it, so no one can get close to her physically. The main character, he has this weird deficit where he doesn't feel pain whatsoever. So he can literally, like, stand in fire and it won't hurt him at all. And so he's the only person who gets to actually be close to Shion because he can. Because he doesn't feel the pain despite the fact it's going into his body. And so it makes that, and so the love story comes from that, where it's like he's the only person she has the ability to ever actually get close with. So through him, she learns to, like, you know, just like to learn this kindness, to learn to be able to supporting on other people, to learn to not be this complete isolationist. And then eventually she falls in love, and they fall in love with each other. But then there's different, like, things that break it up as the story goes on. And it's the fact that, like, about halfway through the story, they both admit they like each other, but it's not the time for it. And even, like, just before the final boss, there's a point where Alphen goes to kiss her, and she stops him and says, after this is done. And it's like, come on, no, I want to see them actually as a couple. But no, it's as soon as the final boss is done, just as the credits are about the roll, you finally see them kiss. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, you made... No, I want to see them couple up earlier, because I wanted to see these two, like, nitwits as a couple. And so the fact that this DLC said, you know, fucking 2 years later is actually based after the main game, it's like fantastic. I'm gonna get to see them as a couple. And we know where it goes, because in the credits, they have, you know, like, they have background art in the credit screen of, like, Berseria that shows you what happened after everything happened with Velvet. They do the same in Arise. In the post-credits, when they show the artwork, they show the two settling down, buying a house, owning a farm, like, tending to the farm. Like, they completely settle down and have a life, just those two together. They then show the two getting married and growing old together in the artwork. And that really made me tear up when I first saw it. So I was like, they live a completely happy life. They don't need a sequel or anything. Like, even though you don't hear or see anything, they have a completely happy life together. They have their own house, they have their own farmland, they get married and settle down and grow old to each other, and they never don't love each other. And I was like, that's so fucking cute and lovely for an ending. Like, because especially compared to the very last Berseria, Tales game before it, you know, Berseria, where that one is so bittersweet, it was so nice to get a genuinely really wholesome, happy ending. But you don't get to see any of that, and that's why I was like, no, I want to see it in-game. I want to see these conversations. I want to see the wedding day and, like, fully, like, modelled and animated. And clearly they know this, because in the DLC, the extra costume is the bride and groom. You can have, like, Shion dressed up in her bride attire from the end and from that credit screen, and Alphen in the groom, and I'm just like, yes, I've never taken them out of those costumes. They're wearing them, and then they'll never stop wearing them. And I don't think the soundtrack for Arise is as good. It was a different composer from Berseria. And although there are some bangers in Arise, like, the whole soundtrack as a whole wasn't as good. I do love the final boss theme's build-up track, though. When you get to the final boss, they have this build-up track play, and it's like 4 minutes long, the full build-up track. And it genuinely really fucking works as a build-up track. It super gets you amped up for this grand finale. It does it fantastically. So when it then drops into the proper final boss theme and it's a remix of the game's main theme, you're like, it's fucking go time. And I love it. Because it's a traditional build-up in the sense of, like, it starts off simple and then more instruments get added, and then more instruments, and then a vocal track starts to kick in, and then the drums start going dun 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 dun, and it's like it builds up and up and up, like it starts to take your breath away, and then it completely hard slams into the game's main theme, like this orchestral mix of it, and you're like, let's go. I also love the final dungeon theme. The final dungeon theme is the only track that I would say is straight up better in a Berseria version. Like, the final dungeon theme for Berseria, compared to the final dungeon theme of Arise, I prefer Arise's. Because the difference with Berseria, like, Berseria's finale, you know exactly what you're going for at the end of the game, and so it's like, it's to finishing the fight, it's going to the end. Arise, the entire final dungeon... So also, oh, I only just read your auto and stick with Velvet, but yeah, I never play auto, I play manual and did the whole team. But, so I only just read that comment, so let's go ahead of myself. But, what was I gonna say? But with Arise, you know there's something here, but the entire final dungeon is you don't know what you're about to find. So it's a completely different, like, feeling of how it handles the dungeon theme, because you don't know what's here, you don't know what you're gonna find, you don't know what's behind everything that's happening. You're just going in to this mysterious place at the end of all things, and you're gonna find out along the way. And so the music has this really slow ambient mystery to it, but there's 3 layers to the track. In the first half of the dungeon, it plays the more atmospheric one, and the second one, like, the drums and the vocals kick in, but there's a third mix that kicks in at any point you start a fight, and it's where the electric guitar, the fucking xylophone of all things, and, like, another choir piece kicks in with it, and they will overlap entirely. So if you're playing the first version and get into a fight, you'll hear those extra instruments, but it will be the first version's bass. But when you're in the second half, now it's more amped up and there's more going on. And it's like the way the track just slowly but surely creeps up and up the closer you get to the core of the planet and the core of everything that's going on. Like, if there's one big thing I can give Arise's music, is Jesus Christ, the build-ups. Like, the composer for Arise knows how to do a fucking fantastic build-up. I was saying it was just the battle themes. I think Basiria's battle themes and the area themes as a whole completely trump Arise. Because Basiria, like, every single track, even the slower, more atmospheric ones, I can think of and they come to my mind immediately. Whilst Arise, I can only think of a couple. That's also because you don't backtrack as much in Arise, so you don't go back to older areas anywhere near as much as you do in some parts of Basiria. So you, like, get those tracks in your head. But the only reason you usually backtrack is for side quests. But Arise is also way easier to platinum than Basiria, because there's no grind to level 200. It's beat every super boss, do every single quest, no quest is missable. And also beat the main game. And it's easy, there is a get to max level, but the max level is 100, not 200. And if you do all the super bosses are 5 levels apart from each other, the first super boss is the same level as the game's final boss. So if you realize what order you're supposed to do them in, you literally do the level 50 super boss and then work your way up all the way to the last super boss that's level 95. The level 95 super boss you can repeat. So to get into level 100, you just fight that super boss like 2 or 3 times after you've done it, and then you're level 100 and you're done. And also, it gets brownie points, because in the same way Basiria had a crossover quest where you bumped into Zilla characters, Arise has a crossover quest where you bump into Aizen from Basiria, and you help him out for a bit, and you get into a fight with him at the end, and you do a boss fight against Aizen. I was like, this is fucking sick. This is amazing. It's like my favourite boss fight in the game. Not just because I'm biased and I love Basiria, but still. And it's like the same actor, both in the sub and dub, like as who originally voiced him in Basiria, so it's really consistent as well. Like, I didn't get someone else, it's just Aizen in the new engine as Aizen, who got separated from his mission with Velvet and the gang, somehow through shenanigans of crossover content. I'm getting bullied here, I'm not focusing as much, I'm getting bullied for it. Have you talked to a baby girl? No, we'll solve this. The only thing with going into Arise, the easiest way to put it is like, if you split the game into 3 acts, Act 1 is pretty slow. Like, Act 1 is kind of like I was enjoying it, and I was like, okay, but it's taking a while to get a move on. Act 2, and especially Act 3, is when the game starts to come into its own and become really good in its own thing. So I have problems with Arise that stop it being as good, if not better, than Basiria. But as a whole, it got an A+ from me. It's like just Basiria's an A+++, you know? And like I said, it was my game of the year of 2021. Like, it was the game I loved the most when I finished it, so... Hey, no, wait. It's not a problem. I just stumbled a little bit. I can walk. Can I lend a hand? Oh, this is Kokoro trying to bridge the gap a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't want to cause you trouble like this. Just so you know, I haven't forgiven you yet. You have memories of a revenant attacking you. Maybe coming back to where it happened would be rough. At least, it was for me. Besides, I don't think you should stop here. Revenants! Oh, at a time like this. Forgive me, let me out. She's coming. She's gonna kill me. She turned us into this. The Revenant Princess. Revenants are victims of the accident. I feel awful. Still, if you fall and become a Revenant, I will not go easy. Before they hurt anyone else, I will end them with my fists. Oh, hang on a minute, there's a fucking archer in here. Where are you? Oi, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Fucking Shadow Wizard money gang. We love casting spells. Shadow Wizard money gang. We just love casting spells. I don't know why that joke stuck with me so much, or why that's become so funny to me, but I love it so much. Come on, Nanana, bean these bitches. Oh, this was a short level, actually. I know I kind of like was stopped and started talking around, but that level wasn't that long, it felt like.
Oh, something shiny.
Memory reservoir, right? This is something I need to face. Is it going to be a confirmation? Yeah, the Revenant, because she knows Nemesis is her mother, so the Revenant Princess, that thing, isn't her mother, so they're not the same, so she's clocked on. Revenant Princess. Right. You can all help me with revival. Oh, I'm forcing you. There's no need to volunteer. Just hand them all over. Give me your souls. You think I'll allow this? Ah, such a pain. You're the type of ex-tough without understanding the situation, huh? You're the one who caused the bus accident. Yeah, and what? You're gonna pinch my cheeks? Sen, stop! What you've done goes against justice. It may seem like I'm pretending, but I cannot allow this. Sen! So scary. You scared me so much. I poked your cheek with just a little strength. But whatever. In order to have fun, I suppose there should be some rules. I got who I was after, Yuri Minano. The rest are just extras. I know. I have a good idea. I will return just one person from here to the real world, yeah? One? Yep, Miss Justice here doesn't like it if there aren't any rules, so I made some up. Everyone's souls are exposed right now, so it's really dangerous. Sorry for poking you so hard earlier. Because of this, even a tiny shove can cause a soul to break and spew out its insides. If it breaks, you die, so kill before you get killed. Now start killing each other, a battle royale between all the passengers. Telling us to fight until there's just one survivor? That's right, only one gets to go home. Okay, so, good luck everyone. What was that? Those were the events that transpired here a year ago. I know that, but that was too cruel. Indeed. Kurumi said this is a feeding ground for revenants. In reality, this wasn't true. They were not even food. This was just a playground for the Revenant Princess.
No, liked playing, but not like this.
Nemesis did something this cruel. That's not it. The Revenant Princess is not Nemesis. It's absolutely impossible. What? What are you talking about? Nemesis is... She's my mother. Soma Megumiba. And it ends there? Dun dun dun! Wow, what a way to end that chapter. Oh, I should probably get rid of these. What's Exploration compared to Reason to Live? 68.72. Oh, it's better balanced. I know Western Media does it. Well, I can make True Mystery free, maybe. Let's find out. It's a good, like, cliffhanger point, because it's like... Nice. Oh, we got loads of spark incitements. For a second I got excited. I was like, oh, no, we need enjoyed moment. Irony of justice. Already know. Well, it's more like now the gang knows it, how are they going to respond to it? That's the cliffhanger. Now the gang's more aware of it, how are they going to respond to it? Because last time they didn't get to respond to it because everything happened at the very end. A revenant of a man who desires revival. He was killed in the accident. It's called Revenant Princess. They vowed to spend eternity together. She promised that she loved him. Death wasn't going to keep them apart. Bernadette, bullied to death. She cursed her parents for the way she looked, but she also despaired for hating them over something so petty. She killed herself because of her looks, but after becoming a soul, her inferiority complex only grew worse. And Zeno, she was born into a strict family. She has no longings or big dreams. She has no hope. She just wanted to relieve some stress. And so you joined a cult? Revenant with a deficiency in its soul. The idea is not strong, so it is weak, but it knows some secrets. So it has some memories, thousands of them. The structure of the soul was special. It was unaffected by the cogs of a mule. A writer. His writing didn't sell well, and at the last resort he killed himself. He hoped that his death would raise his popularity. Jesus Christ, dude. The reason he became a writer was because he wanted his work to outlive him. He thought that was cool. She posed at a railroad crossing to take a selfie. Oh, I already know how she died then. She fell in. Oh, Nanana's the only one we can talk to? I want to call Sen and be like, you okay? Do you need a hug? Let's talk to Nanana. We'll make it the last thing we do before I wrap up, because it's now the hottest hour of the day and I'm roasting. Yahoo! That's not the right mood, huh? Yeah, not quite. Nemesis is really Sen's mama? I don't know, but I don't believe Sen would just make something up. But then why is Sen's mama so mean to Rei and Mirai? Nemesis said this is revenge, but I don't know why. I know why. I think it's become pretty clear. I mean, they don't know why, because because it's a new loop, and so they've lost memory of Kuon. Kuon is the Revenant Princess. Everything Kuon is doing is to try and get back at Rei. Rei had a friend on that bus, so she decided to make that bus crash. Nemesis probably doesn't have the full picture, and so in her mind, it's just like, we were killed because the princess wanted to get Rei, so I want to get revenge by killing Rei. That's probably how it is in the mind. That's where the blanks probably are. At least that's what I think. The third loop's going to be super interesting. We can say that right now. The third loop, this final loop's going to be super interesting when we actually have to fight Kuon, maybe. I know, if you don't know, we should just ask Nemesis. Nanana's gonna go look. Wait, no, you promised not to put yourself in danger, remember? I'm just kidding. You seem so down. Rei. I'm sorry, things are a bit too much to handle right now. But seriously, don't do anything dangerous. Roger that, I'll be hiding till everyone comes back. They're coming back, right? Kokoro and Sen? Everything should be okay. Just wait for us, don't worry. Eudaimonia? What even is that word? That's a new word to me. Hang on a minute. So Google. Eudaimonia, sometimes anglicized as eudaimonia or eudaimonia, is a Greek word literally translating to the state of condition or good spirit, and which is commonly translated as happiness or welfare in works of Aristotle. It is also a term for the highest human good in older Greek tradition. Ooh. Interesting. So an ultimate form of good, I guess. But that will be for next time. So I'm going to save. Because now we're on a, ooh, what will happen next? Ooh. And because we've done most of this chapter, doing, the rest of this, and then finishing off Loop 2's Chapter 8, should be pretty easy to do in one stream, even if I stream on Monday when I'm working, so it can't be that long. In theory, it shouldn't be that long a stream, we can get it done and start the third loop. But that's going to do from me. As always, thank you all so much for watching. It genuinely really helps, and it's really nice to have. And Markiplier. I haven't watched Markiplier in forever. I stopped watching him years ago, so I'll have to take your word for it. All I know about Markiplier nowadays is that he's starring in the what's it called? Iron Lung? His Iron Lung film, and that's about it. But anyway, getting off topic, I'm wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this little channel grow. Once again, I will let you guys know when I've kind of decided for myself whether I'm going to stream tomorrow or take it off. Once again, my reason being, I'm back at work on Monday, so there's a part of me that kind of wants to just take it off to rest and relax. But I'm undecided. I might be in the mood to at least get this done. So we'll just have to see how I feel in the morning when I wake up. I might just wake up and go, yeah, fuck it, let's get it done, and then stream. If not, I will update the community post and whatnot. So we'll see. But additionally, you can find my Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal in the description of every video if you feel so inclined. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.